If many need a battle to be won, when we're given one, we don't rest until it's done. Oh, me, my soul, and my mercenary band. I've made a home of the winding road, traded my living for a wanderer's woes. Feet on the earth, head in the clouds, I walk the world alone. Long have I traveled across these lands. Long is the journey that never ends. Back home there are farmers and blacksmiths galore, but out in the world I can be so much more. I've met mages and fae, I've met soldiers at war, and set eyes upon distant shores. Long have I traveled across these lands. Long is the journey that never ends. Some say that I'm foolish, some say that I'm bold.
Okay, welcome to Wyrdcast, guys. It's been a while. So we're going to do the same as we usually do. I'm obviously Lycain, your weird and wonderful dungeon master. We're going to go around the table and introduce ourselves and our newest player of the group. If you want to give a little bit of description of your character as well, obviously some of it may come into play when we're actually playing, but just reminding everyone who you are. We'll start off with Vaughn. Would you like to introduce your character?
Sure. My name is Vaughn. I will be playing Dampier Rogue, so little half vampire. He looks remarkably average, except for a scar and a shock of white through his hair. Though I think if you looked closer, you'd probably also notice his eyes are miscolored, his fangs poking out. Dresses typically in darker clothes to not be noticed, though he does have a rather flashy rapier at his side.
Hot. Rain, why don't you go next?
Hi everyone, I'm Rain. I play Geo Milfeast. I am a fighter, so basically I am just a walking, talking hippo.
Bloom?
I'm Bloom. I play Bellini, the Wildfire Druid Turtle. I'm about like 5'6", wearing. If you've seen, if you know what Oddjob from James Bond looks like, think that type of like bowler hat, a little sport coat, vest, bow tie, not an actual bow tie, but like a bow tied. With a little weird haunted doll dressed in a very similar outfit to him, riding along on my shell. So yeah, that is Bellini.
And finally, our newest player. Do you want to?
Hi, I'm Emerald, and I'll be playing Larea, a half-elf warlock. She is reasonably tall for a lady of her heritage. Very pale skin and a gaunt face, very tired eyes, heavy eye bags. She has a little bit greasy black hair. She wears like a long leather coat with lots of pockets, with additional satchels and pouches on her belt, and some scented herbs, and the rest you'll discover.
Ooh, how ominous. Um, So we left off with the gentleman having been sent by the council to investigate a local disturbance in some villages, upon which they found a crystal cavern and delved below to find out what secrets had been kept inside. On their journey there, they were assaulted by various ambushed, masked rogue types. I was going to say vigilantes, but it wasn't quite on that. It was more villainous than... Anyway. You managed to discover the presence of a wormling, a young dragon-like creature. Oh, that's such a good oath, actually. Oath of your mom would be pretty good. You discovered an earth dragon sleeping, and managed to steal away an extra tablet that you needed to open a door into the final chamber, upon which you found a troll working or employed by the Crimson Tide, a rogue group of mercenaries you had been fighting and thought that you had demolished their leader. Upon exiting the cavern, Ku had a rather piercing vision of someone named Haskell, and we left off there. We now pan back in, opening on the three figures making their way along a rough dirt road. The morning light sort of highlighting that soft dust that lingers in the air. In the distance, we see silhouetted by the rising orange of the sun sits the towering spires of the elemental city that you all call home. And as the gates become more looming, this air becomes a bit more fresh, and that scent of faintly salted air whispers into the dawn-lit breeze. The closer you get, the more you notice that guards still linger at the main gates to the lower spiral of the city. Their presence seems both vigilant and weary, and their armor catches the morning light in a kaleidoscope of colors. You see hues of deep crimson and orange, teal and blue, emerald and forest green, and the pale brilliance of white and sky blue. You know this as the different categorizations of the elements upon which the individual prefers or is best skilled in. And as you draw closer, you see the quite methodical rhythm of their duties. Each denizen approaching the gates has to present papers for inspection, and the guards are scrutinizing them with practiced eyes. There's a lot of murmur of questions amongst those in line, a rustle of parchment and the faint clink of armor, and that's where we leave off with you guys entering towards the gates of the city.
Okay, Gia, when we get back, you can ask my mom to make you breakfast. I know it will be getting there a little late for breakfast, but she will make you some. Don't worry, we won't skip a meal.
Wait, what? Can't she just make me breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
I mean, yeah, you live at the Burrow House, but it's fine. You'll get your meal.
Well, I meant all of them, like at the same time.
At once?
Yeah,
That's a big ask, my man. She's got other stuff to do.
I can help her.
I mean, last time that happened, you did eat the bowl.
That's true. I don't want to eat the bowl again. Maybe. It was wood. I can't complain.
True. Anyway, I think we have to tell somebody. Who do we have to tell that we did this job? What is it? Do we go back to Lysara, Vinsara, whatever her name is?
DM, do I remember any of this? I was a little sick for the session we went over that.
You were given it by the council. They didn't really say which representative. The captain was the one that delivered it, but it did come straight from the Shadelight Council, along with your badges of lieutenancy. I don't think that's a word, but I've just invented it. The three of you being lieutenants in some regard in the city, although you don't actually have a department, which hasn't been clarified. You do still hold that rank.
And also, have we had a long rest, or are we
Yes.
showing
Yes.
up here half dead? Okay.
You guys have
Vaughn,
spent
you're really quiet.
that 3
Yeah,
days
you are.
coming back.
I would, in that case, recommend we head to the captain who gave us the job. Not sure if that's going to be the person or if they'll have someone else to send us to, but at the very least, they can get us started.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Works for me.
As we approach the gate,
Mhm.
do I know what these papers they're checking are? Do I know what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, it just seems that they're
Normal.
checking for either residencies or purpose, visit to the city if it's business or pleasure. But they all seem to need a specific reason and proof of why they need to be in the city.
Got it. I will, as we are approaching, I will start getting everyone's papers in order.
Yeah.
I start pulling out coupons for the lucky shell.
The lucky shell. Yes, as you guys approach, you do you see enough of these guards every now and then to sort of seem slightly familiar. They give you a little head nod and begin looking through your papers. I'd say probably Geo, your head sort of looks up, and perched on the top outer wall is a little bit more of a familiar face to you guys, is a pale blue woman with like gently flowing hair, light blue armor, and carries a spear in one hand. She's one of the guards that assisted you in the survey of some of the safe houses, and had been one of the people that helped you with that. And she sort of looks down, looks at the two guards, and nods her head, and they seem a little bit more inclined to just get you on your way, and they quickly pass you by, with Ku sort of showing the letters of your new rank. They seem a little bit more apprehensive to cause any beef. They just quickly step to the side.
And listen, when you get off a shift and if you're looking for something to do, stop by the Lucky Shell. We have skee ball and other games, but we have a lot of skee ball.
Skee ball's really fun. I suggest you try it. Just don't eat the balls.
Yeah, if you want to gamble, that is also an option, but we have a lot of skee ball. Great for the wife, for the kids, significant others. And I just hand them coupons for a free game of skee ball as we walk on in.
Thank you. Thank you. That's very kind. But yeah, you all enter the first spiral, the agricultural district. I was trying to remember what the name of it was then. Quickly making your way past the various swathes of farmland and small cottages, reaching the fourth spiral, which is the residence. You're once again met with another set of guards. Very easily able to make your way in, but it is more noticeable that there seems to be a checkpoint at every gate. You will enter into the more hustle and bustle of the city streets as the morning light becomes more apparent. Maybe you're all a bit weary from a few of the nights spent amongst the stars, or maybe Geo, being amongst nature, has let you relax from the sort of city life that you've become accustomed to, back to something more reminiscent of when you were actually a hippo.
Hey, I'm still a hippo. I say to the voice in my head.
Being a capital city of such a formidable kingdom of Elendrian, Syrusia is very busy, and all of you often feel that sometimes you might drown amongst the various crowds that you surround yourselves with. And as you weave through the bustling streets, the air seems a little bit more alive with the chatter of merchants and the clinking of wares. The sun seems diffused by a thin veil of clouds, and the smells of spiced meats and damp stone and smoke mingle in the air. Among the throng of pedestrians, a momentary disturbance catches your eye, Ku. Amidst a sea of indifferent faces, one figure stands out like a smudged inkblot on a clean page. His clothes hang off his frame like wilted rags, patched and weathered, unfit even for a beggar. His posture is stiff, defensive, as if he expects the world to attack him at any moment. His face is obscured by a crude wooden mask, half broken, revealing a gaunt cheek and a sallow eye that locks onto you. Can you roll me a history check?
That is a 19.
Jesus. The exposed flesh that you see bears scars of very old burns that are faded yet unmistakably violent. There's a single eye that holds an intensity that freezes in that moment. He stares at you, not really with malice, but with some sort of unmistakable recognition. You know this man. You met him many years ago, before your incident, in a dark underground tavern. You were asking his help and using him as an informant to retrieve an artifact from an archaeological dig. During this, your deal went awry, and during a violent confrontation with a rival faction, the man was presumed dead. What lingers on your mind is this is twice now that you've been forced to linger on past events, first with Haskell, and now this supposed to be dead man. All of this happens within 10 seconds. And once the crowd becomes full again, you lose him amongst all those faces. And he's gone.
Yeah. I mean, I think Who looks visibly shaken for a moment, but continues walking. Definitely on high alert, seeing if anyone's trying to pick out if anyone's following or waiting around any dark corners or anything like that.
Yeah, make a perception just to see how, with advantage, we'll say with your PTSD.
12.
Yeah, as you move through all the different districts, you reach the Noble, which is the second to the inner ring, and you catch sight of a unexpectedly once more familiar face. A hunched figure against the crowd, her hand slipping into a pocket for a moment, is a young human woman dressed in a well-worn but practical clothing that blends in with the everyday hustle of the district. She's got a hood pulled over the long wisps of dark hair that peek out from underneath. You lock eyes with her, and you know that her name is Lorea. Emerald. You spot a very alert Ku, flanked by a hippo and a turtle. They look to be very purposeful, as they've just come back from a mission. And you haven't seen them in a long time, but you once knew each other in the underworld, often using each other for information.
Would I approach him as if I know him, or do we not know each other?
I would leave that down to you. That's up to your choice.
Right. I see them, and I let out a little bit of a smile, and I nod, and I slowly walk over. Hello, darling. What brings you here?
I will gesture to the other two to stop, so that they don't keep walking or run into me. I didn't expect to see you here, Lurea. Gio, Bellini, this is Lurea. I've met her a few times now.
Pleasure.
Hello.
Hi. Would you like a coupon to play skee ball?
Sure, why not?
Great. Any friend of Koo is a friend of mine.
Good.
Any friend of Bellini's is a friend of mine. He feeds me.
I do.
That should be the best friendship, honestly.
Well, we were just headed to, is it the guard captain that we're going to? I know it's the captain. I can't remember of what.
There is the guard captain, there's Finsara, and the various other council members that had sent you on a bunch of different missions from the start. Bellini brought up the fact that you guys still haven't been paid. But it's any of those people would probably know what was next.
Bellini, Gio, any thoughts on who we should be going to see?
Probably the council treasurer. They'll have our money.
Yeah.
And if we should go to the council, get a hey, you did this job, well done little note, and then go to the council treasurer, because then he can pay us, or they can pay us. You know.
So just ensuring that we get paid.
Yeah. I can't listen. Skee ball does pay for itself, but I do have to set up a scholarship fund. So
Very true. I still miss that rascal.
yeah, he wasn't so lucky.
No.
Yeah, we're going that way if you want to come with us.
The guards? Oh, you know how I feel about guards.
We are also having lunch after this if you want to meet us. And I write down we're gonna probably be at this place, and it'll either be the Burrow House or the Tipsy Otter, whichever place we end up at. But we'll let you know if you don't want to necessarily come with us.
Oh, I'm just being difficult. I'll join you, no problem.
Cool.
I'll just tag along a little bit in the back, if you don't mind.
Yeah, you'll hear about how Koo is real smart and stole a tablet out of a sleeping dragon's mouth.
Really? Your life's gotten a lot more exciting since we last met, Koo, I must say.
Not by choice.
Is it ever?
Fair point.
Lurea, can you make an Arcana check real quick?
Of course. That's a nat one.
There's something about Gio. You've only ever met one other GIF or GIF. That being Sergeant Boomfist, who is the elemental champion and a very prominent guard in the city, and military leader. But there's something about this GIF in particular that just seems very intriguing.
So, being a GIF, what's that like? She kind of awkwardly tries to strike up some sort of semblance of a conversation.
Geo clears his throat and just, it's interesting. I have to look down a lot, especially around Ku, because I don't want to walk on someone. But besides that, I eat a lot. People often don't come near me, so.
What do you eat? Like lots of lettuce or what? Always wondered.
Really, anything that someone puts in front of me that tastes good. One time I ate a bowl. Bellini's lucky that I didn't start eating the ski balls. So.
Good to know. So I best keep my belongings to myself around you, is what you're saying.
At least when I'm eating.
All right.
They're not cake balls, they're ski balls.
I just love
They
the
taste
idea.
the same.
I just love the idea that that's why Bellini feeds him so much, is so he doesn't eat the merchandise.
That's 100% why.
It's
Why do you
also
think
why
I
I'm so
keep-
rich. I don't have to pay for food.
Why do you think I keep Geo snacks in my bag? They're like Scooby snacks, but hippo shaped.
Oh, that's so good.
They still walk on all four.
Yeah, you guys easily make your way to the Silra Citadel. Noticeably, there's a lot more ornate armored individuals wandering around. You notice a tabaxi off to one side, but you're quickly ushered, saying that you have council business. Not many people ask a lot more questions than that. The fact you don't have a department on your paperwork alludes that you might be someone really important. So they just quickly like usher you in. Think of it like how the army deals with the CIA in some movies. They're just like, oh yeah, that's fine. You can go anywhere you want. This chamber you've been in before, and it's beautifully ornate and elegant, and a lot of pageantry and marble and stained glass, and you're being ushered towards the grand hall of the council chambers rather than the small meeting room you had been put in before in a more discreet fashion. The guards seem to just usher you towards the grand hall. There's polished armor flanking every arched entryway. Among them stands a tall Goliath man, Captain Vaughn, who's a familiar figure to Larea, and immediately scowls at her, muttering under his breath like, "So you're in the council's favor now?" As you pass, its disdain is very palpable. Does not enjoy the fact that you seem to be somewhat important, which irritates him a little bit further. As those
Can't believe it either myself.
As those heavy wooden doors creak open, it reveals the Council of Tazisraela is in session, and you are quickly ushered in, believing that you might be a part of this discussion. The chamber is a masterpiece of Elven and Genasi architecture, large vaulted ceilings resembling an intricate canopy of interwoven branches. There's sunlight filtering through crystalline windows, and there's a shifting pattern of light across the polished floor. Seated at the head of the table is a green-robed figure, head to toe, in what seems to be a lighter form of silk. The most prominent feature being a large silvered mask engraved in various runes that sits upon his face. Around him, voices echo with restrained anger. You enter mid-argument, with two women in heavy debate. Lady Cortan stands tall, fiery red hair catching the sunlight like embers. Sharp green eyes are alight with frustration as she gestures towards Vesper. You can't dismiss the growing unrest within Cyrusia, Vesper. We need decisive action, not elusive spells and vague wisdom. The city's teetering, and the council must acknowledge this. The woman, seated with almost pre-ordained calm, tilts her head slightly. She's got silver hair that looks like liquid starlight. Her voice is soft, yet it silences the room with its ethereal weight. Her ears are pointed. It's around then that most of you, although our new player will not know this properly, but most of you know that rare pure-blood elves are not often seen in Elendrian. Most elves are actually half-elves. They just did away with the half because they thought it would be derogatory. This lady is a purebred elf. And she stands, her hands placed on the table. Action without foresight is a blade without a hilt. Cyrusia's problems are not so easily solved by brute measures. The threads of fate are delicate, Lady Cortan. I suspect you do not yet see their true weaving. The conversation halts immediately, as a large, muscular, armored woman with beautifully brown, eagle-like wings sprouting from her shoulders stands, a stunning figure in elegant plate armor. Commander Vinsara immediately grabs their attention with a large fist that slams on the marble table, sharp blue eyes, and authoritative presence. You also recognize this lady. Her reputation as both a fierce warrior and a pragmatic leader preceding her. The cloaked and masked figure sort of nods his head in agreement with her sudden halting of such an intense argument. It appears that she is now the voice of the Shadelight Monarch. Behind her, you notice a young tiefling girl standing near the edge of the chamber, dressed in training gear for the flip dancers. Her wide eyes flicking between the council members and the newly entered party. She seems to be the only person that has noticed you, aside from Vinsara. Holding a short spear in one hand, her stance betrays a little bit more nerves than determination. Vinsara says, "This is not the time for division, council members. And I'm glad and you see like a wry smile, adventurers are here. We must not waste their time. Do you have a report for us?" And she looks directly at Ku.
Yes, we made our way to the ruins that were identified and have secured the relics you requested.
That's good to hear. I take it you've been paid handsomely for your work?
Not yet. But we'd like to change that.
You see the green-robed figure raises his hand, and two soldiers quickly scurry off, looking very sheepish. You can guess that they're probably arranging whatever payment you are due.
We also have not been paid for our first mission as well. And we'd appreciate that as well.
It'll be taken care of.
Oh, thank you very much. If anybody wants to play skee ball, the Lucky Shell is always open for any of y'all.
I'm sure Lady Cortan enjoys games. Perhaps she will stop by. Regardless, we once again need to call on your particular skill sets. There's a situation at the Diason Asylum that demands your immediate attention. Reports suggest activity, and since it's abandoned, this is cause for concern. The asylum was decommissioned and abandoned a few decades past. It is extremely unusual for such a thing.
I see. Ooh, spooky haunted asylum. Great. Cool.
You see Lady Cortan interjects. If someone has gained access to the asylum's lower levels, they risk unleashing malcontents. It's not a task for politics or debate, where that's our job. This is a task for them. Have proved that they can act upon our wish. And for once, Vesper seems to agree with her. As she says, the asylum's not just a relic, it's a scar upon the city's history, and the disturbances there resonate with forces older and darker than any of us wish to confront. You see, Vinsara turns to Ku. Your past affiliations may offer a perspective we lack. If anyone you know has insight into the asylum's activity, it would be wise if you could use your connections. And she looks past you at Larea. Just for a moment. With like a quizzical eyebrow. And then looks back.
Well, I think it'd be all the more wise to secure what we're working for before we head off.
Right, of course. How is 100 gold each?
Group pedal.
I'm just standing there and I'm looking down.
I jump up and I put my arms around Gio's neck and I go, wait, come down here. You gotta bend at the knees. Bend at the knees, man. Come on.
I just sit down so that
Your
I'm
head
more near
level.
Kus- Yeah.
Okay. 150 gold each.
We should start at 200 if we want 150.
Start at 300. We were probably
Thousand.
4 for the last job. Can't imagine this is that much easier.
300 gold each.
250, and you can keep whatever you find.
Great. Sounds good.
You see for a moment she like shakes her head and she's like, every time.
Eth reaches over and just high fives me and I go, yeah. A real businessman.
I stay sitting.
Well,
Do you
seems
have
we have-
any other concerns we need to be aware of?
Is it haunted? Is it spooky?
Can I hit things?
I don't
What
know.
are the dangers?
I don't know, and yes.
Why have
I
you
mean-
not investigated yourself? What makes you want to have others complete this task?
The current unrest in Syrusia needs more immediate attention than smaller, inconvenient events.
Sure.
Unrest.
Sure.
But we need to make sure that people we trust can deal with it so the public are not scared.
Wait, there's current unrest in Sarusia? Oh, what? Is my family safe? Are more people?
Taz's Railer is one of the most fortified cities in the whole of Silvastria. You are fine.
Cool. Okay. Well, if anybody wants to play skee ball, you're always welcome. Y'all want to go shopping? We got paid.
Oh. We haven't gotten paid yet.
No, we got paid from the last job.
Did
Oh,
they
we-
actually give us the 250 or did they just go get it?
What so we got paid from the last two jobs, and then we're
Did
getting another 250 plus whatever we find.
Yeah.
I think they said they asked if we got paid. I don't think they then gave us gold.
No,
Yeah,
you
they
haven't
haven't
been
given us
given
gold
it yet.
yet.
No.
Oh, can we get paid for our last job? Because we
Yes,
do need
they'll
to buy
do it on your
supplies.
way out. We don't
Great.
carry money.
Yeah, you guys are big, fancy, important people. Wait, pause. Vinsara is the current speaker for the Shadelight Monarch.
It appears so.
What happened to the other person in the mask?
That is the Shadelight. They just haven't said anything.
Oh, okay, cool. I was like, what? Huh? Okay, cool. Never mind. I have no other questions.
Right, well, and you see she looks at all the council members and then looks at the Shadelight. If there's nothing else, I have a match to prepare for, so you may go.
Okay.
Geo stands up.
I start
We walk
walking out.
Rhea doesn't need to hear it twice. She has no problems leaving a building as fancy as this.
We're not the brightest bunch.
No.
You're ushered back out and through down a different corridor where you come into quite a small room that seems to be cramped with an adornment of shelves and scrolls. And there's a small sort of hunched over halfling, very elderly, with glasses perched on his nose, who's writing as you walk in.
Hello.
Can I
Are
help
you the one
you?
that's gonna pay us?
Oh,
Yeah, are
right.
you the-
Yes. Names, please.
I'm Bellini, and this is F. S, say hi, wave. And his little fiery hand peeks out.
Right.
I don't know. Put yourself out.
Yes, it's quite flammable in here. If we could keep the fire to a minimum.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm
Yes,
Geo.
Bellini, you have been registered for 270 gold, currently on your payroll.
And what does F get?
Eth was not listed, whatever that thing is.
Scammed. It's okay, buddy. I'll get you listed next time.
I think we just left the place that he needed to get listed.
And who is your very large friend?
Oh, I'm Geo. I'm a hippo.
Very well. And he places the 2 bags of money on the table. I was told there was only 3 in your party. What's the other one?
Hi, I'm Larea. I should be on the list.
Can you make a deception?
Yes. Okay, let me check my
Are you doing
modifiers.
anything, or are you just simply saying that you're on the list? How would Larea try and swoon her way?
She's not very coy about it. She just approaches the desk and she's like, "Hi," and she kind of holds her hand, both symbolically and literally, like, "Money, please." I rolled a 17 for deception.
You see, he's like peering over, and there seems to be a lot of like crossing out over all the various different spreadsheet-like ledgers that he's looking over. Just like, here, take 100. I can't be bothered. This is bullshit.
She won't even question it. She's like, "Free gold," and she stuffs it in one of her many, many pockets.
And you?
Who? And I take out the 2 invoices I had prepared.
Very nice. You see, he looks at it quite appreciatively. He's like, interesting. Yep, that's your 270 and your 30 for your archaeological dig a few weeks back. Being that you are actually an employed member of government, And then just like looking, he's perched on a load of books, so he is actually looking down at everyone but Geo. Anything else?
If I stomp the ground hard enough, will you fall?
Probably. Please don't. It's very precarious up here. Last week I got lost in like 14 different libraries.
Oh no.
Wait, how are you in 14 libraries in a week? That is my question.
I just like libraries.
Okay.
Can't relate to that.
Yes, well. The records of Tazisraela are documented in different rooms, which I've never understood why they can't just make it one whole room. But anyway.
I can't imagine the sorting system if there's a room for...
Honestly,
all the
I'm at
time.
the point where I don't believe there is one, but everyone seems to work it out somehow.
You should try and organize it.
I believe I would die before I managed to finish, or even get halfway. But I'll take that comment on board.
If you manage to organize it, I'll give you 150 gold.
That's more than I make in a week.
And with that, Geo walks out.
You see the books do shudder a little bit, and he's like, "Oh." What are the
But
rest
yeah,
of
I
us
suppose
doing?
we follow suit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
follow.
Cool. Again, it all seems very immediate, very rushed, very on point and precise. You're immediately ushered out of the citadel and back towards the noble district, flanked by 6 or 7 guards that quickly turn on their heels and return.
Let's go to my house, and it's right there. And I need to add 275 gold.
As Bellini says that, you just hear Geo's belly grumble. Just...
Jelly.
We need to feed our friend.
Hey. You're like what? Mercenaries on the payroll of the government? Is this your new gig, Koo?
It's one of them. We aren't full employees, but they do pay well.
What do you know? You all know about this asylum they were speaking of. Any of you ever had to deal with something like that?
DM, do I know jack shit about what we're doing?
Let me read your feet again.
I have no idea what we're doing.
I just know I'm
Inner
gonna
workings
go
of
punch
government. Okay.
some ghosts.
It's not a well-known fact. I would say Koo might have heard about it maybe once in passing. It's not talked about a whole lot. Much like many fantasy things, mental illness isn't properly understood that well. So asylums do exist, where they lock some crazies away. But it isn't something that comes up in conversation.
I share what I know.
All right. You're not scared, are you? And she glances over at Bellini, who gave off a certain vibe back at the council.
I have a fire spirit as part of my friend, who's my friend. I just accept ghosts are real. I don't know how to kill a ghost.
Oh, easy
Which-
with spells. Just like anything you would kill. It's not harder than a living human being. What's been dead once can die twice.
Sounds good, lady.
Sounds good.
Cool. Bellini, not afraid of ghosts. He has not met a ghost yet. So he does not know he's afraid of ghosts. But does know they're real.
I love that you guys immediately jumped to ghost. All I said was asylum, and you're like, there's ghosts.
No, I said ghost because Geo's not smart.
Oh, that's true. He is smart. In
He
his
is
own way.
intelligent.
I was going
Yeah.
to say, Gio is definitely
Gio's
more intelligent
weirdly
than
intelligent.
Bellini.
He's just not very worldly.
Bellini can, like, just barely read. He's like our DM. Can kind of read.
That's me.
But he still can't tell the time.
No.
Bellini
No.
can tell the time.
I'm time blind.
Yeah, I think it's time we go. We're still level 3, just making sure as I prepare spells.
Yes, you're still level 3.
Cool. Want to make sure. I want to make sure because I'm preparing spells. I want to make sure I have the right number of spells I can prepare and whatnot.
Let me just write down to add more monsters for the next encounter.
No,
Them the
I'm just
rules.
making sure.
Just for Bellini.
Just for Bellini, yeah. He gets locked inside just one of the rooms.
That's fine. And he will just set it on fire and panic.
I don't know how far Geo would make it if Bellini wasn't there, so he might start breaking down doors too.
True. Very true.
Gio and
I thought about
Bellini,
that.
the best bromance. Cool. Yeah, I'm also good to go shopping. If anybody
Yeah.
wants to go shopping.
I definitely want to get more potions after that last battle.
Yeah, I am down to 1 potion of healing. So,
I mean, you guys know
Yeah.
the city quite well. You can very easily find things that you're looking for.
cool. What about wondrous items?
Not wondrous. You can find most common and uncommon items.
Great.
Magical
magic
items are a little bit more difficult. 'Cause you have
Even
to
if
find
I
the
know a
right
guy?
person.
I do.
If you
we
want
have
to use,
established
if you want
No,
to,
we have
oh yeah, God, I
established
forgot about that.
that I do know a merchant who
Yes,
does sell magic items.
yes.
I did.
don't remember which magic items they were, but
It was magic clothing and wondrous. It was a wondrous item merchant. Hold
oh, he
on.
was a
Let me
tailor,
see.
wasn't he?
Yeah, he's yes, he's a magical tailor.
Bellini, do you
remember
think you
this.
could enchant my chainmail?
Maybe we can ask. Yeah, we're gonna go back to Hemingway's because I don't remember the name of this man because I do have Nose Taylor, magical tailor down, but I still have one more extra. I know a guy still. Shout out to Downtime Activities.
Yep.
You're never gonna give me those ever again.
But yeah, it's you know a tailor, so you can do like cloaks and robes and things like that. You can buy most common and uncommon items that are not wondrous, so things like I can't remember what the greater healing potion and things like that. And then you want to try and find an armorer or a blacksmith. That would be for armor, or a mage or some form of enchantment.
Lorraine would really like to find a pearl that is worth 100 gold, quite an expensive pearl. I imagine it would be with a jeweler, perhaps part of the tailor. Is that possible for her to find something like that?
Yes, Ku will know a jeweler that would be able to find you a pearl.
All right.
So, would this tailor have like a cloak of elven kind?
Yes.
Okay. I will tag along with Bellini and Geo.
Is it a cloak of many fashions?
The one that you can change, yes.
There's one where it like changes, it like stores different outfits in it. It might be a Pathfinder item that I'm thinking of. But it operates the same as Cloak of Many Fashions. It just changes your outfit with a command word. And I'm blanking on what it is called.
I'll look it up. Hang
It
on.
was like sleeves of... I think it was like sleeves of many garments.
Oh yeah, it is. It's sleeves of many garments.
There we go.
It's a Pathfinder item, but I don't mind that.
Yeah.
There is a D&D item that does
Is
that.
there?
There's a D... Yeah.
It's shift. It's something with shift weave.
Oh, it is shift weave, yeah.
It is shift weave. Yeah, it's it holds 5 different outfits, and then I say a command word, and it changes outfits. I'm trying to keep my fancy businessman clothes clean and not covered in blood. And I'm
A
tired of
shift
changing
weave
outfits.
outfit is
You said it was like 400.
400 gold. Yes, I did write that down. I was just
Cool.
looking for my notes.
Yes, I would like to buy a shift weave outfit. I'm spending my gold wisely, y'all. I could buy weapons. No, I care about fashion.
Yeah, you can find one.
Cool.
Well done. You now have a shift weave outfit.
And how much is the cloak of Elvenkind?
That is an excellent question.
While you're looking that up, can you
it
also look up Cloak
is-
of Protection?
Bam, 500 gold.
Deal. God, I think this is.
Cloak of Protection is 800 gold.
Dang it. Bellini, can I borrow 8 gold?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, no problem.
I take it.
I subtract the 8 gold from my character sheet. Look at your face. These guys are fucking idiots.
No, that's what it's there for, and you wrangled your way into finding someone that can give it to you. Not that Geo needs any more protection, but that's fine. It's whatever.
Geo
just-
gets hit the most out of all
Yeah.
of us.
It just raises my armor class +1. So,
I'm also gonna buy just a bunch of potions.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Um,
Shopping.
The normal potions of health are 50 gold, right?
50 gold. The
Yeah.
greater healing is 150 gold. I think
All right.
that sounds right.
Potions of healing. Yeah, greater is 44 plus 4. Just the next step up.
Yarp.
All right. I bought 4 potions of healing.
I'm gonna buy 2.
Very nice.
3 minus 100. Gio, how many potions of healing do you have left?
2.
Would you like one more?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
Geo's just so sure of that Cloak of Protection, he just spent all his money on.
So good.
I mean, I do also have extra. I'm up to 6 at this point.
Damn.
Yeah, I have 3 Well, I also burned through 4 or 5 in that cave because I ran out
Oh,
of
yeah.
healing spells. So it's just Eth and I were just feeding people potions on our turns.
Mostly me.
There was a series of turn where it just went Bellini picks up Geo picks up Bellini picks up Geo, Eth picks up somebody, feeds someone a potion.
Yeah, I think Ku was hiding throughout most of that fight.
Yeah.
If I wasn't hiding, I was probably like 15 feet
Slaying.
off the ground.
Like, I think I was down before we hit long rest to 3 hit points, and I had definitely gone down. Because I lost concentration on something. Besides, F does not require concentration though, which is huge.
Annoying.
Yeah, I know. Well, F only has so many hit points.
You know when I
you're
balance, you know when I balance your encounters, I make it, well, it'll be 5 now, but I used to make it for 4 because I just count Eth as like a separate person.
Yeah, F does only have like 20 something hit points. Like, it's not a lot.
He's just annoying.
Yeah, he just can blink and do AoE damage. He just moves 2 feet to the right by teleporting.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But yes, anyway, moving on. You can quickly find the tailor that you already know and very quickly purchase your various goods. Ku then leading just down the road to a jeweler's where Lorea, you can buy a pearl.
All right. That's all the money I have. What I received, and now it is spent.
can I stop by the church and just get some vials of holy water? It is canonically that I have gone to church and prayed. We did have a whole funeral.
Yes, true. You can make your way to the Temple of the Trinity for sure.
Yeah,
How
I
are
do
you
pray to
asking these
Zephyrs.
people for holy water? It's not.
I go to the Church of Zephyrs, the church I go to on a regular basis.
Mhm.
And I go, hi. I've been tasked with a mission to go to a spooky abandoned asylum. There might be ghosts. And I heard ghosts and other spooky creatures are afraid / are hurt by holy water. I have these 4 vials of can you fill them with holy water, please? Also, here are some skee ball coupons.
Can you make a persuasion check, please?
Yes, I can.
I will say, hang on. With advantage, because they like skee ball.
Yeah.
Because I rolled a 1.
With advantage, I rolled a 3 and a nat 20 plus 3, 23.
Damn it. You see, as you're talking, this sort of elderly gentleman adorned in very holy robes. The more you talk, the more he starts, like, his eyes are widening and he's nodding and he's like, of course, and he grabs all the vials, runs off. You hear a bunch of splashing and he comes out, like, fully drenched head to toe with the 4 vials and also, like, a wreath of garlic and some onions and just, like, puts both of those over your head and, like, shoves some candles and, like, the vials. And he's like, here you go. And then turns and rips a symbol of Zephrix off the wall and gives that to you as well. And you're just, like, overloaded with stuff.
Thank you! I appreciate it. And as I walk out, I drop 2 gold in the passing plate.
Mm-hmm.
And I waddle out with all my goods, and I go and I look at Geo, and I go, I'm gonna need you to hold this, and this, and this, and this, and this.
I just open up my backpack and let him dump it in.
And I attach the little symbol of Zephrix to my shell.
Oh, it's not little. It's like, you know when you go to church and there's a big wooden cross on the wall? It's like that size. Yeah. Like a big boy.
I go, we're gonna leave this one at the house, and I pull out my little Zephrix necklace. We're just gonna carry some little ones. My mom has extras. Don't worry.
What happens when
Wait,
you roll
Bellini,
in
instead of the house, can we put it on Lucky's grave?
Yes. Yes, we can.
Very nice.
Pit stop at Lucky's grave so I don't have to carry this cross around.
Yes, we do visit our dead friend.
Yeah.
And Geo, with all his might, just takes the cross and sticks it right into the ground. It's now his headstone.
Love that. That's amazing.
Urea sort of helps with it. She has a cantrip mold earth, so she's able to sort of scoop a little bit dirt, so it's grounded a little bit more.
Oh, thank you.
Aw, that's adorable.
Manage inventory. Holy water. Add to backpack. Oh, that's cool. Holy water is an actual item.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And 4. There's one for everybody, so everyone can add a holy water to their inventory. And then I stop for a second and I go, "Koo, will this hurt you if I give this to you?"
I don't know, and I'd rather not find out.
Okay, that's fine. I keep Koo's. Note to self: do not splash Koo with holy water.
Lorea, can you roll an insight check, please?
Of course.
I love Bellini. He's so silly.
That is a 17.
There is something different about Ku that you've only just noticed because of this conversation. Most notably, his eye color is completely different. It's a lot more radiant than it used to be. It's like they're gold, aren't they, Vaughn?
Yep.
Yeah, they're like a bright gold. And as he's sort of laughing and talking amongst the group, you do notice like a sharp point to some of his canines.
Mm-hmm.
You get a bit of an inkling from that conversation that he might not be quite the man that you once knew him as.
Yeah.
But yes, you can go about your next part of how you want to approach this, whether that be finding a bit more information or going straight to the asylum and knocking down doors.
Yeah, I'd like to put out some feelers through my underground contacts about the asylum, try to figure out what's going on.
Mm-hmm. How does Ku often get in contact with these delinquents that resemble a lot like one of your companions?
I would probably go to my contact in the Shadowbringers Guild.
Mm-hmm.
And try to pass a message along through them. Because this feels like something the city probably wouldn't have too many records on.
Okay. And how is... talk to me about how you would often get in contact with them. Like, what would be your methods? You're discreet and subtle.
Yeah, I think it's leaving a message at the Tipsy Otter for like a specific name.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the contact's name, but they know, like, next time this person comes in, let them know I'm looking for them. And then just arranging a time and day to speak in one of the more secluded booths.
Sure. You quickly arrange a meeting with someone you once knew as the sommelier, which is quite fitting for a tavern. And you talk to Tavar, and he quickly nods his head, almost knowingly. You meet about 2 hours later in the 4th district, so just the residential area. A little bit more run-down part of the city. A very small, inconspicuous tavern, tucked between dilapidated buildings. You're meeting a man named Dorian Valier, who's your old contact from your brief time in contact with the Shadowbinders. You're a guild of secret keepers and sketchy people.
Yeah, I don't wave him over. I think that's a bit too conspicuous, but I will, make myself known so he knows where I am.
Mm-hmm. Would you have allowed the others to join you on this venture?
I think so.
Okay.
They might as well know where the information comes from.
So, Lorea, you are quite used to blending into crowds and making it look like you belong. What have you decided is your cover for this? Have you mingled in as a bartender or just a person in the crowd, like a patron?
I would say I would choose to be someone with as little personality as possible. I'm not someone who works there. I'm just a passerby. I'm a patron. The less identifiers I have, the less I'll be known. So I could be really anyone. I would just, be a regular patron.
Cool.
I would also, if that's possible, like to, while I'm joining all of this, I would like to call upon Morrow and ask him telepathically, as a familiar, for him to scout ahead. I don't know exactly how far away it is, I must say, but I would ask him to gather as much information as he can. About whether he sees any activity, whether he sees something that would, that he notices to be out of the ordinary, just anything he can find, really.
Okay.
And I would kind of like to send him ahead after baby talking him for a little bit as well.
Yeah. Just before you guys enter the tavern, there is a brief moment, Ku, where you turn around and Lorea is making baby noises at a bird, and like a sleek black, very quite intimidating looking bird before it flies off.
Hey, what were we doing? She returns as if nothing happened.
I mean, between Bellini and Gio, I don't think that even phases him anymore.
That makes sense. And I'd say just for this, and because I watched it recently and I want to watch it again, Ku, as you sort of, you'll take your time to deliberately enter at different parts, different times. You're second to walk in, and you notice Lorraine is off in a corner, sort of 1 foot up, very much like how you would sit, which is the corner booth in every room. She's got a hood up. She's pretending to smoke a pipe, and from the angle she looks a lot like a man, just with the way she's managed to hunch over her posture. She's got a massive glass on the table. Looks a lot like maybe a ranger. The most obvious people to enter the tavern and don't look very conspicuous, but I would like for them to describe how they would try to blend in, would be our hippo and turtle friend.
I walk right in and... Oh, go ahead, Bloom.
No, go for it. I think we have the same idea.
I was gonna walk right in and go straight up to the bar and be like, "How much does 159 copper get me in food?"
You see the bartender's just like open mouth staring at you like, the kitchen's not open yet?
How much does 159 copper get me in booze?
A barrel?
Let's do it.
Okay. And he sort of wanders off. Bellini. What would be your...
I was gonna go in and order food.
Oh my god. So yeah, you enter last, sort of hearing that the kitchen's closed.
I walk in, and I go up. And I know the kitchen's closed. Do you have bread? Can I just get a loaf of bread?
He sort of
and
reaches down, and it's quite moldy and stale and rock hard.
I look at Geo and I go, "Do you want this? I'm just gonna make some tea. I recommend not eating it, but you are a hippo man, so you can probably digest it. I've seen you eat rocks."
Yeah. Let me finish this barrel because I'm just gonna go raid the kitchen when I'm done. So.
No. I'll pay for our meal.
But the kitchen's closed.
Yeah, it'll be open. I look at the bartender and go, "When will the kitchen open?"
He's off looking for a barrel.
Well, I will ask him when the kitchen opens when we get back, and if not, we'll go to the peanut truck outside and we'll just buy some peanuts or the hot dog cart. One of the two. We'll find food somewhere.
Apparently, those things exist now.
I mean, we're in a city. Street vendors who sell like food on corners definitely exists.
Yep. Whilst this is happening, Ku, you quickly sidle into a different booth. You're quickly in front of an old sort of salt and peppered human man. He seems to have like one foot in the past and one teetering on the edge of ruin. You knew him a little bit more elegant, a little bit more formidable, but he seems a bit more of a shadow of his former self. His deep chestnut hair has streaks of grey running through it now and is tied back in a loose ponytail. And there's like a faint scar across his eyebrow, a reminder of like a deal gone wrong or gone right, you're not really sure. His clothes are tailored but frayed. And around his neck he wears a simple cord bearing a single blackened coin. And you know this is a token of the loyalty to the Shadowbinders. He's got one calculating green eye and the other one is milky and sightless. It's a big contrast to how you used to know him.
I nod as he walks over and have found a booth or a table.
Yeah, he just sort of leans back. Well, look, you decided to return from the grave. I'd say it's good to see you, but these days seeing anyone from the odd crowd is a bit more trouble than it's worth.
You look like hell, Dorian.
Yeah, well, life's hell sometimes, so.
Well, I won't keep you, but what are we doing with the asylum? I'm still a bit confused.
They said that there was some activity there, which is unusual because it's decommissioned and abandoned. So they've seen people sort of lingering around it. They needed to know what that was about.
I've asked you here because I'm looking into, and I explained like where the asylum is. We heard there was some activity out there, and just Curious if you know of anyone posted up there.
I mean, before we dive into all that, I need to know, are you still with them? The Shadowbinders?
I was never properly with them.
I was told otherwise, but they must have been lying. Yeah. And he sort of leans in a minute, looking around like side to side. He looks a little bit more paranoid. If you're asking about the asylum, you're already over your head. And if you're here, they already know you're looking, so I'd be on your guard. There are whispers about a group of shadowy types, not the usual riffraff. They've been asking about the asylum and looking for something. Whatever it is, it's not good. I know that we've been... sort of hesitantly mentions the Shadowbinders. We've been looking and keeping tabs on it, but if you're headed there, you need to be ready for anything.
I always am, but I appreciate it. Anyone in particular I should be looking out for?
We're not too sure. Anyone who gets close has turned up not so great. Things are getting bad. Cool.
Things are getting bad for you or for the city?
For the guild. And the city.
Well, I can hardly say I'm surprised.
Yeah, well. Look, just be careful, alright? I know I look like shit, but you actually look surprisingly well.
Well, you didn't see me a couple of years ago, when I looked a lot worse.
Have you heard from Zora recently? I heard she's back in town.
No, I haven't, but that's good to know. Do you know whereabouts?
Apparently she's shacked up with some sort of lord. Probably to gain a title or something, I'm not too sure.
Well, good for her.
And you see, like, Piers for a moment. Have you done some, like, enchantment on your eyes or something?
Something like that.
Looks good, man. Need to get me some of that. And he just sort of sidles out of the booth and walks off.
Once he's gone, I'll signal the others that they can, we can congregate in one place again.
Yeah, it's about that time that the bartender's sort of like very like weightily carrying the barrel in, sort of rolling it across the floor and then like trying to pick it up and then like slamming it, places it in front of Geo like, oh my god. Here you go, one barrel.
Thank you for that.
Hey,
I
when
set the
does
copper
the
on the
kitchen
counter.
open?
Dude, it's the morning. We don't open until the evening.
Oh. Where can we get breakfast?
At home. Leave me alone.
Okay. I look at Gio and I go, hey, we're going to have to go and get breakfast elsewhere. But don't worry, buddy. We'll get breakfast. I'm also hungry.
I'm going to eat the barrel after I finish drinking it, so I'll have a snack.
Oh, okay.
Loraya would have tried to listen in as much as she could, depending on the noise in the tavern and the conspicuousness of it, between the conversation between Ku and the other figure. And after they're done, she would leave separately to sort of keep up the appearance of being a nobody and not be with a giant hippo and turtle. So she'll catch them outside.
Catch me
Like that.
outside. How about it? As you're watching this encounter and you watch Dorian sidle out of the booth, you catch a glimpse of the coin that he wears around his neck. And for a moment there's like a gut wrench, like the feeling of when you're on a roller coaster and your stomach sort of lifts for a moment. You feel almost like an instinct, something about it either sidles you the wrong or the right way. That's however you want to interpret it, but there's some recognition within you or someone you're affiliated with as to that symbol.
All right.
You were able to overhear quite a lot of it. You're quite good at blending in, growing up as you did in this city in particular.
Mm-hmm. So we'll have gotten the general gist of it and be able to fill in some blanks. Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I wouldn't show it to Ku that I actively listen in. I would be very sly about it.
Cool. But yeah, you sort of congregate, seeing that Lorea's gone outside, you congregate shortly across the road from the tavern, all sort of huddled under the eaves of a cottage as a soft spatter of rain begins to flood the city. Ku quickly tells you all roughed information as much as he wants to.
We go get breakfast.
Yeah, I share what I learned about the asylum. Probably keep the rest to myself.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Shaggers, shall we go?
Yeah, we should probably get some breakfast.
Obsessed.
And rolls her eyes.
Gio will start eating people. He won't, but like
I'm about half done with the barrel right now, so I'm still drinking.
It's not even like a nice and dignified drinking. He's slammed his fist through the top of the barrel and it's just holding it above his head as this giant maw just opens up. Every now and then part of the plank falls off and he eats that too and he doesn't even notice.
It all tastes the same.
okay. Well.
Food?
Food.
Sure. Where are you going to get your fix?
Back to my house. We go back to the burrow house because that's where we plan all of our things.
Yes, you can return to the burrow. Bloom, if you would like to describe what the burrow looks like.
Yeah, the burrow house looks like the boarding house from Hey Arnold. Like a big building, but it's also kind of set into this hill. Because when we need to expand, we just dig another burrow. Yeah, and it's like down the road. It's like not next to the Lucky Shell, but it's not far from the Lucky Shell, which is my family's gambling hall where we play skee ball. and do other nefarious activities. Mostly play skee ball and gamble. That's about the level of nefariousness that we get up to. But yeah, it's a nice place. It's not the nicest place, but like when people's forages explode and they need some place to stay, we offer a room. When people are traveling, when you're a giant hippo man who appears out of nowhere,
These are things that have happened, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the Burrow House. And my very large, yet to be named family, all reside in the Burrow House. Vinny does a lot of paperwork. My mom and dad live there. My grandmother lives here. My grandfather lives here. There are some small turtles running around. Who do they belong to? To be determined. Yeah, there is.
It's
but
like
yeah,
a less crime-ridden version of the Goodfellas.
Yeah, it's just we just gamble and play skee ball and take in strays.
Like me.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's a nice
bouncer.
It's a nice place. It's like it's very warm and welcoming. My mother will scold you if you track mud into her house, so please wipe your boots.
Lorrea will just sort of track her fingers along the walls and feel the dirt and any material that is used to fortify the walls, and not really pay attention to the denizens, but really appreciate how it's molded and how it's burrowed and all of that. She's very preoccupied with that.
Yeah. And that's what's up. And then we go and we eat breakfast and we make a plan for how to get to the asylum. We also have our mules and donkeys in the stables out back to pull our wagon.
Yeah. You notice that your brother has enlisted the help of very small turtles to do some deliveries of your grandma's famous pie. I don't know. They have now enlisted a Granny's Baked Goods delivery service to those that can't reach the burrow.
Cool. That's my cousin Joey, who, because Vinny does paperwork, Joey likes food.
Joey and I get along great.
Yeah.
Until he eats the food that I'm trying to eat.
Yeah. As you guys enter, there is the largest table that could possibly fit in the large hall of the burrow. That is filled with breakfast foods. There's one specific part of the table that has been, it's more of a less plated and more just a pile, and there's a ornate small little card, like a chalkboard card with Geo written in big chalk letters. They always allocate all of the less quality items into a big pile that Geo can eat. Yeah, once again, you just notice an array of different turtles roaming about. Some other races, some strays, some kids that live there now. Vinny looks tired and is clutching like a bunch of different documents and has like ink over part of his face as he's just wandering around, grabbing like a piece of bacon and then returning back to the office.
Vinny, you okay, buddy?
Yep, yeah, I just got problems with, and yeah, I've got it sorted, don't worry. I'm on it.
Okay. I look at Eth and I go, I hope he's okay. I will make Vinny a cup of tea and bring it to him.
Mm-hmm.
I go, it's okay, buddy. I trust you. If you need help, you can talk to Sal. He can help as well. He's old enough. I'm just naming cousins at this point.
I hope you're writing these down, because I'm not.
Hold on. Where's my character sheet?
Hold on.
Notes.
Cousin Vinny.
Allies. Hold on. Okay.
Joey.
Huey, Dooley, Louie.
Sal. Lucky is dead.
Paperwork. Yeah, I got that one written down. He wasn't a cousin though. He just lived at that borough.
Yeah.
Joey.
Deceased.
Grandma's food delivery service. What do we call the food delivery service? I'm thinking like Turtle Eats. Maybe some slow dash.
It's called Total Eenie, but like the Eenie part is like how you'd spell teeny.
Okay.
And it's all the just adolescent turtles that are running the business.
Portal, INY. Oh no, it's Tort. Is it Tortini or Tortellini?
Total Eenie. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm making this up as we go.
Tortellini. And then Joey, Sal. Sal can help with the paperwork. I don't think I've named any other cousins besides.
I really
me,
hope not.
Joey or Sal. No, Grandma and Grandpa and Mom and Dad don't have names yet.
No.
They're just Grandma, Grandpa, Mom, and Dad. Cool. I got it. They're noted.
Oh god, I wrote mom like the American way. Disgusting.
Grandpa. Grandpa does sit in a big chair with a newspaper, like the one man from Courage the Cowardly Dog. And occasionally does yell at the little turtles to get off his lawn. But then he realizes he doesn't have a lawn. Just a little
Love
grumpy.
it. But yes, you can quickly all get yourselves something to eat. Lorraine, you're quickly ushered by Grandma, who's immediately trying to shove food into your mouth, saying that you look very thin and pale. And they try and do the same to Ku, except they've already gotten used to the fact that he will probably glare at them until they leave him alone. So they just offer him a plate.
Rhea's not one to turn down food, so she'll happily be pampered by Bellini's grandmother.
You look
Kinda
thin.
reminds her.
You should eat.
She kind of reminds her of the woman that raised her on the street, who was only called Old Nan. She doesn't know the name of the woman, but she sort of mentions it like, you really do remind me of Old Nan. It's quite nice.
Yeah. That's what I got. And then we're gonna go to the asylum the next day.
Cool. Are you going to spend the day at the Burrow, or are you going to go now? Because it's about lunchtime, by the way.
I am curious. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need for this adventure.
I don't know.
I'm gonna sleep after I eat half the table's worth of food.
Yeah.
I would suggest to approach the asylum in the dark, which sounds very ominous. But we don't want anyone meddling with us, do we? Like guards. We probably should approach it when it's quiet and silent.
Something you'll learn is wherever I go, it's not quiet or silent.
I was afraid of that.
Very true.
As quiet as we can get, my large little friend.
We try.
Geo burps and it shakes the house, and then it just keeps eating.
My mother scolds you.
I'm sorry, Dan.
Not at the table.
I'll take it outside next time.
And then yeah.
All right. Oh.
Sorry, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else we need to do in the city before we head out. And I'm just like looking at like common items we might want to bring. Does the tailor have a hat of vermin? Not that I like need one. I think it's just a silly item that 3 times a day I can pull a bat, a frog, or a rat out of my hat.
Roll me a d20. I will say if you get higher than a 15, then he will have it.
I got a 6.
Then no.
Oh, okay. I like silly items. D&D is full of them.
That's all right.
I got nothing else. Can we pause for a bio break and get water and whatnot?
Yes, and we
I also have to switch my laundry over.
That's fine. It'll give me a chance to set up Tailspire as well. So, yeah, we'll go to a quick break. We'll go get some drinks and things, and have a quick rundown before we come back. So it should be about 5 minutes. We see everyone very soon. Bye.
Find me a place among my brethren, the pines, the bees, the frost. I cannot stay where nature's embrace is lost. Find me where Canoe makes his revelry. Where the horned one sleeps. Down by riverside resting, no one but me. Leave behind your troubles and your worries. Set your soul on fire and dance among the trees. Oh, find me where Canoe makes his revelry. Ooh, where the horned one sleeps. Deep in woodlands running, no one but me. Wake up, breathed in ivy, bathed in the light of the moon. Through the canopy I see the light of the stars shining through. Down by shoreside seas, no one but me. Oh, This makes his revelry. Where the horned one sleeps. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel, that when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise, for the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night, the night. Oh. Strike, turn, hammer and burn, the bellows teach and the fires burn. Iron, oil, temper and toil, the forge ain't hot if your blood don't boil. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade to slay that evil heel, a sword that gleams like diamonds that can make the darkness kneel. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel, and when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise, for the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night, the night. Hear that anvil ring, echo song of the hammer swing. Shape, grind, polish and shine, the world ain't ready for a work so fine. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade, for to purge the blight, which creeps upon this world we love to take from us the light. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel, that when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise, for the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel, that when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise, for the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night, the night. Killers, thieves, thick of skin, till your ruthless trial begins. Let the judge's word sink in, a lifetime on the Isle of Sin. Hey, 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 welcome to the Isle of Sin.
Jagged rock, sea slick caves, no way out but the 10-foot waves. You'll cry out to be saved, no reprieve for the criminal slave. Hey, 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 welcome to the Isle of Sin.
Cursed stone, blessed ore, swing your pick till you hit the floor. Break your filthy back some more, until you strike the mithril score. Hey, 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 welcome to the Isle of Sin.
With your life, pay your dues, work or die.
your soul and mine. They're one and the same, split one in twain, and we both feel the pain. The sins of one father unread in our veins. Through darkness and hunger she remained, but her heart no more beats in tandem with mine. And I'm waiting for the wink and the witty one-liner, for her to say she got me and hit me with a smile. But the hole in my chest says I'll be waiting for a while. Be a boatman, your reaper, I'll be yours, but you can't keep her. Lay me down on a bed of ravens' feathers. Dear sister, swear to me you'll stay close, never out of reach. Oh, do not go far from me until I'm gone. Mantle of death, black feathered crown, lift up this body asleep on the ground. A soul for a soul, let mine be laid down in this tomb I wish had never been found. You want a champion, I want her back. So I'll be your boatman, your reaper. I'll be yours, but you can't keep her. Lay me down on a bed of ravens' feathers. Dear sister, swear to me you'll stay close, never out of reach. Oh, do not go far from me until I'm gone. There's no price too steep to pay to bring you back to life. Losing you is more than I could bear. So swear, dear sister, swear to me you'll stay close, never out of reach. Do not go far from me until I'm gone. Find me a place among my brethren, the pines, the bees, the frost. I cannot stay where nature's embrace is lost. Find me where canoe nose makes.
Awesome. And we are back. Two things is obviously we have the new edition. Let me summon all my players to the board.
Shit, hold on, let me open Tailspire.
I knew you didn't have it open.
I
just knew
wasn't
it.
here when you said to open it.
So two things is number one, we obviously have the new edition of Lorea. Your icon has been imported in here, so I believe you are here. This is you.
Mhm.
Woohoo! With your little shovel on your back.
Mhm.
There we go.
I'm looking.
So this is Lorea's token. Looking very fancy. Well, it does look like you. This is what I was saying. It looks almost...
Fun.
It's eerie. Don't like it. But also, I've made an adjustment to Geo, because I found someone who had made a GIF, and I replaced him with a hippo-looking creature. So Rain, you
Instead of
actually,
something that's just cursed.
yeah, rather than a cursed creature, you actually have one now. And look, he's so cute. He's got his
Yes.
like his dark trench coat and how beautiful.
This
Ooh, we're
map is
matching.
really dark. Can I turn the brightness up?
You can let me in now.
Oh yes, sorry. Summon players. There we go. Yeah, you and Kua
Like it-
are matching actually. Look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How? Bellini's the odd one out now. With his powder
Like-
blue suit.
Listen, when I said Odd Job from James Bond, I wasn't that far off.
What an odd group.
Like
Ken-
in OBS, you should raise your camera above the game screen. You're
Oh
getting
yeah.
cropped.
Well, I prefer it this way. Where is it?
Oh, while we fix this technical difficulty, today's sponsor is the Little Debbie Christmas Tree Brownies.
Fuck
They
you, it's
are the
fixed.
best of the holiday Little Debbie treats. The Christmas tree cakes are good. This is better than a cosmic brownie though, because cosmic brownies have that weird icing on top, but this has like royal icing on top, and it's not goopy. So yeah, Little Debbie Christmas Tree Brownie, only available during Christmas time / November, December, and are the best Little Debbie product.
They are not a sponsor, but we do like them. So if they do want to sponsor us, please do. Anyway.
Please, I'll take all the Little Debbie brownies.
Anyway, you guys know where the asylum is, having been given enough information of its whereabouts. It's off from the city a little bit. It is technically in the agricultural district, but it's up a hill, away from a lot of things, amongst rocks and trees, and it looks as abandoned as you could probably get. Contrary to Tailspire, is one whole building. This is just... I realized that when I made them on multiple levels, you guys have struggled with. I struggle with it as well, and it doesn't look so great. So this is an easier way of doing it. But yes, as you step away from the sort of familiar bustle of the rest of the city, the ground beneath your feet grows uneven. There's wild vines. The air turns a little bit cooler with every step towards the asylum. Most of the building is standing, although some of it is hollow and crumbling. Maybe a monument to some forgotten horrors decades ago. And the wind whispers through the trees as you walk towards it. As you approach, there's a set of iron gates and a large wall surrounding it, and the gates sort of creak open as you push them. They're not locked, almost inviting you inside. There's an eerie silence that envelops you all as you step into the asylum's courtyard. The crumbling structure looms ahead of you, its walls untouched by time, maybe full of secrets begging to be uncovered.
Okay.
What would we like to do?
I would like to look around and see if I can spot Morrow anywhere. I'm feeling kind of anxious and worried that I haven't heard from him yet.
Yeah, you hear a
Scanning
gentle,
through my-
like, a caw, and he comes swooping down and rests immediately on your shoulder.
And I listen in telepathically whether he has any info at all about the place.
Yeah. He tells you that he had seen some people go inside, Oh, a long time ago. Almost as soon as he got there. They have not come out. And he heard some muffled shouting and sounds that he couldn't quite discern.
Oh, aren't you a good little boy? Oh, God, I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much. You're such a helpful little boy to Mummy, yes. Oh, right. There were people inside, he said, a while ago. They've not come out, so we'd best prepare to see some visitors.
I will pull up the hood of my cloak to get the advantage.
Mm-hmm. You are super duper sneaky.
Well, do I see any way into the asylum other than the front doors here?
Not as far as you can see. You can take a walk around the perimeter if you wish. But from the looks of it, it used to be quite heavily fortified. You're not sure if there would be a separate entrance.
I think I look at the giant hippo and the slightly less giant turtle that I'm with and decide against it.
Ku, before we move on, can you do the weird mind speaky thing that you can do just in case there are people here and we don't want them to hear us?
Yeah, give me a minute. I need to. How is that?
Also, can I have control of Geo's token? Because he doesn't have Tailspire, access to Tailspire at the moment.
Oh, right,
Sorry,
yeah.
my power supply died on my computer.
Nope, that's fine. Blue. I'll give you all. There you go.
Woohoo!
All right. Roll a d6 real quick. All right, for the next 1 hour, we can communicate telepathically. And I explained to Linnea that this, what is about to happen. That it's voluntary. Anything you share is voluntary. It's not all of any thought that pops into your head, etc.
Unless you're Geo, and then you're just gonna speak out loud anyway.
We're work in my head. I go, we're working on getting him to speak in his head. We're working on it. It's a work in progress.
Right.
But
Lorea,
also,
this is a little strange. It's a little intrusive, but thanks to him explaining it, you are confidently prepared. I think the rest of you see that she isn't phased at all. For you, Lorea, you have spoken to some people in your head before. Morrow being one of them, and other entities yet to be known. But I do think the rest of the party would definitely notice that she is, even with the explanation, you expected some sort of response, and she is very much unfazed.
Clock it, but don't say anything about it.
Clock it, write it down, put it away. Saved.
I am focusing on
How good Geo looks, I know. It's crazy.
yeah, no, I'm focusing on not broadcasting my inner brain music. The like elevator Final Jeopardy music that just plays in Bellini's head all the time.
I was half expecting you to say The Shining or something like horror music. Just because he's anxious.
No, Bellini's just like do.
Oh, we're gonna get DMCA'd.
Yeah, oh my god. I'd love if it like switches between everyone's and it's like who's like mentally preparing for the battle. Lorea's probably talking to her Raven. Gio's playing Bellini's playing elevator music, and then it switches over to Gio and it's just like just wind
You
whistling
just hear,
between no, there's not a thought between those beautiful eyes.
Or it's the like, what is it, SVU, like doing the math brain puzzle
of how
thing.
many pieces of bacon he can eat when he gets back.
But Gio has secretly solved all of our problems, and he just doesn't know how to vocalize it.
Well,
he
like
just doesn't say
doing the
anything.
I mean, that
Always
would make
Sunny
sense,
thing
'cause I am-
where he's like pointing
like-
at the board.
Geo is crazy intelligent. He just doesn't use it.
I know.
Gio has a significantly higher intelligence score than
I
Delaney does.
can't wait for that character development when he puts it to use, which is not going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
But yes, back
I have-
to
I have
the
very
asylum.
middle of the road stats. It's really funny.
Can I like take a look at the front door, see if is it locked? Is it trapped?
Bam. It does appear locked at the moment.
Oh, shit, spells. I need to finalize this.
But it is a very simple, ornate set of doors.
I'm gonna pick that lock.
Yeah, you pick that
Pick
lock. Make me a
that
sleight of hand
lock.
with advantage because of your gloves.
That's a 25.
Yup. I don't even know why I needed to ask, to be honest. I could have just been like, yep, you pick the lock.
The first one was only a 14.
Only. Nope. Nope. I'm so good at this. I'm a professional, guys. Anyway. Yes, you can very easily open the door. It opens into a very short hallway. You would guess it's a step processing. So if the one door was locked and one was open, and then an inmate tried to escape, it'd be a stepped process. You managed to unlock both of them very easily. Lorraine, you watch his coup quite expertly, just crouches down quickly, grabs out his lockpicking tools, and with a deft hand, it's open in a matter of seconds.
Yep.
Let's grab the party. And we're walking, and we're walking, and we are here.
We're walking. I'm also finalizing spells because I realized I didn't do that. My bad.
Apparently, I'm climbing on tables.
Yeah, you do you, boo. Anyway, yes, it opens out into what appears to be a dining room. Long tables are strewn across different parts of the room. The chairs aren't as neatly organized there. Some had fallen over. Parts of the table has been cracked. There's dust all over the various different cutlery and plates that line some of the shelving and some that are left on the tables. Each of the rooms to your left and right are gated iron doors, each with their own set of locks on them. And then there's, I believe, a door at the end that also has a set of locks on it as well.
So it's safe to say that it's very dusty in here.
It is extremely dusty in here. If you want to make an investigation, or maybe a survival, depending on what you're looking for, to see maybe if you're looking for people being here or just investigating in general.
Yeah, I'm looking for footprints specifically, which does feel more like an investigation check to me. But
just pick investigation or survival. I'll leave it down to you. You can pick what you want. Let me go this way.
that's a 15, and let me know if that doesn't pass, because I can do
That
a
passes.
thing.
Yeah,
All right.
15. 15's good. There's some footprints you can tell have recently been made. There's tracks in the floor where you see some dragging marks, and every now and then there's little droplets of blood. There seems to have been some sort of confrontation, and people that were expecting no encounters, nothing alive, have been caught unawares.
And then, can I peer through these iron gates to see, do I see anyone or anything?
Yeah? Which ones are you going for? Left or right?
We'll do right.
To the right. Let me have a look.
Are we trying to be sneaky? Is it worth me taking Pass Without Trace?
You haven't said anything yet.
I mean, with
Okay.
me here, I don't think so, because you can hear the whole entire floor creak every step I take.
Pass Without Trace eliminates that. But it's a +10 to stealth.
Yeah, I mean, I would just fully disappear at that point.
Yes, you would be undetectable by anything.
Because I would have advantage and a +18.
Jesus.
But I will leave that up to you, Billy.
If you rolled a 20, that'd be 38.
Uh-huh.
That's just
Yeah.
rogues,
It's
man.
a second level spell, which like I'm gonna pass on taking it. I'll take my first level spells. We're good. I got some good ones. I did take protection from evil and good.
Oh, that's my fault. Kenku has gone silent. There you go.
Cool. Okay.
Make a noise,
We're
Kenku.
Squawk. Squawk, squawk.
There we go.
Squawk.
Squawk.
Fuck. Yes, the door on the right, you sort of peer through it. Very easily to see through the bars, obviously. You don't see anything at the moment. Although it is bright on Tailspire, it is quite dim in here, and the torchlight flickering does make it a little bit hard to make things out, but you are who you are, and for now you can't see anything that would give you cause for concern through that door.
Do we hear anything auditory, like shuffling, voices, whatever?
Can you make a perception check?
Of course. Sorry, it's dim in here as well. It's 15.
There is a almost like a low, faint growling.
Okay. Do I recognize the growling, or is it indistinct, just general growling?
Some sort of animal, maybe?
Okay. I sort of look at the rest to see if they've clocked that as well, or if they don't hear him. But I'll be like, there's something lurking here. Can't quite tell what it is, but I imagine it's not going to be friendly, if I'm honest. Or it might be, who knows? Perhaps we'll be surprised.
Can I tell if it's my like a difference between my stomach and the growling?
Yes. One's closer and one's further away.
I don't have dark vision. Am I able to see in this room or no?
There's some lit torches, which again is a little bit concerning considering that it's meant to be abandoned.
Cool. Yeah, I don't see shit.
I don't see anything either, Bellini, don't worry.
Okay. Glad I'm not the only one.
Need to get you some goggles of night vision and make you look like Donatello from the Ninja Turtles.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I could give you a light, but it will make you more detectable. Would you like that?
I can and I like cut my hands and I just produce flame, but I cup them so the light doesn't go everywhere. Like I can just do this. And like as I open my hands, like you're covering like a flashlight, a beam of light pokes out, and then I put it out. I go, I can just do this.
Right.
There you go. Now I'll give you a better idea.
Yeah. It's just real dark in here.
Mm-hmm. I'd
say we investigate the source of the sound, since we're here to establish whether or not what kind of activity there is. I suppose something that makes a noise would be classified as activity. Am I right?
Yeah, there's something spooky, scary in here. I think it's ghost. I don't know why they've lit torches, but I think it's ghost.
I mean,
You get to
ghosts
see a
like
ghost?
cozy sometimes. Can be quite boring to be dead.
That's true. I do start making shadow puppets. F reaches their little doll hand in so I can like make weird other shapes. There's some dinosaurs, some wolves, a bunny rabbit. I say, well, we're not gonna find anything just standing here. I say we go this way, and I point at the door directly in front of us.
Can I tell where those drag marks I saw are going?
Yes, off to the top left-hand corner. So over. Yeah. I love tail
point
spires.
that
It's so
out.
cool.
Yeah, I'll point out that the drag marks go the top up to into the left, but we can go further in.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say we follow suit. Sounds like a good lead.
I'll stay in the back. I'm the loudest.
Yeah. So are you all moving stealthily, or are we just kind of going for it? I don't need to ask for Ku. I know that he can't be seen by pretty much anything.
Not even the gods can see him.
Not even the gods can see you.
I would say cautiously, but not necessarily hidden. I would see no reason to be hidden at the moment. But being mindful of traps.
Yeah, I'm being cautious. Think Scooby-Doo, like them like sneaking through a house looking for clues. Before they open a door and there's just a monster standing on the other side of it.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I kind of get where you're going for with that.
yeah. I'm like peering around corners. I'm not just like through the house.
I would just walk through the house. That's why I'm last.
Yeah, Geo will Kool-Aid Man through the wall if need be.
Okay, so we're going up to this door.
Yes.
Cool. It is currently locked, so someone, Q, might need to pick the lock. I'm just hoping one day you roll in that one. I can laugh at you.
That is only a 12, but I can roll my psi-powered knack if I have to.
Let me consult my notes. Yep, no, 12 is fine. Open. Aha, look at that. So cool. Bum 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 bum. Okay, how are we orientating our? Oh, I've lost some people. How have I done that?
I've lost. We're in the hallway. Okay.
Oh, you're inside each other.
So
That's
dark.
disturbing.
Don't forget F.
But yes, you.
I like how he's just, even though he's not out currently, he's just around.
I just figured that he would come out at some point, and I couldn't be bothered to not have him around. So yeah, you open up these iron doors and they creak quite loudly to reveal a passage of stone that leads into a corner. And as you can see on the map, there's a variety of different rooms, each with very roughly made wooden and straw beds. A very nice bucket lies in each corner. Some have been filled with long and now expired excrement, and then others are just empty. But as you're sort of moving around, you can hear that growling seems a little bit closer.
Lorea is exhibiting a concerning lack of fear. She's, while still quiet and cautious, she's like, "Oh, doesn't this just remind me of home? I think it's over there. I think I hear the growling around that direction." And she won't purposefully be on the front, but if anybody paces back, she won't notice and she'll be in the front.
I'll walk towards the front. I do walk, club in hand, holy water in the other.
Okay.
And I'm just peeking and looking.
Yeah.
And if I have to produce flame for light, I will. Because if it's too dark for me to see, I will just produce flame. I'll tuck the holy water in my belt. I'll just, like, Iron Man pulsar, hold my head out like this with a little fire, creating light so I can see.
Love that. At the moment, there's not much. You can still tell that growling is closer, and there's more visible drag marks across the dirt, and more blood. And slumped in one corner, right at the opposite end of the hallway, is a figure that's dressed in black leathers, the very telltale sign of maybe an assassin or a rogue. He's got multiple daggers stashed along his belt that have not been removed, and a deep sort of wound in his shoulder that has long bled out.
Which
He's
corner
very
is
much
this?
dead. At the opposite end of the hallway.
So like all the way down. I can't ping, but yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Well, you haven't opened any of the other doors, so yes, over here.
I'm gonna open this door. Is it locked?
It is locked. Yes, they are all
Then
locked for future reference.
Well, then I don't open the door and I go investigate the dead man.
I'd like to join.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll head to the dead guy too.
Seeing the three of them move, I move along with them.
I'd be very curious to see if we can find out a cause of death with the man.
I think it's the stab wound in his chest.
Oh, aren't you?
Yeah,
a
that might
clever
give it
one?
away. Let's just put some blood here. Blah 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 blah. There you go. Oh god.
Yeah,
It looks like some sort of creature. Anyway.
I'm gonna investigate the stabbing.
Yeah, make a medicine check.
Medicine. Cool. That's a 22. 19 plus
Jesus.
3.
It seems to be some sort of bite wound. And as you're looking it over, you guys can hear that growling is even louder, even closer, and it seems to reverberate around these stone walls. There's almost like a chill in the air and up your spine.
I hate to. So this dude's very obviously dead. I look at Ku and I say, do we need to be worried about this body?
Do we?
Is it gonna come back to life?
Oh, I'm asking like in the DM.
Make a history or an arcana.
While he's doing that, can I just pick up the body?
Sure.
19 Arcana.
Arcana. Yes, you've heard of undead, and well, you are sort of one in yourself. Everything that you've read about yourself, you also came across mentions of zombies and wraiths and demons and well, demons are fiends, but spirits and there are creatures that can return to the dead, but not without outside influence directly on the corpse itself, or the soul, depending on what you're trying to resurrect. And since the only people currently around this body are you guys, it would only be one of you lot that would be the danger of this body coming back to life.
I'll share that with the group.
All right.
Cool. I pat its pockets down and I take all the daggers off of it.
Cool, yeah, you find 3 just standard daggers.
Cool. I go, well, I don't know if you'll need these anymore, but thanks. I can throw these at things when I run away. And panic.
Bellini, you also notice the soft sound of footsteps, but they're almost like padded, and there's 4 of them, 2 in sync with each other.
There's a 4-legged creature walking up and down this hallway, guys. I hear footsteps, and they pitter-patter in sync. So I'm guessing some type of animal. Be ready, because we're going to have to fight something. And I am not excited. It could be a ghost.
As you say that,
a hellhound.
turning the corner is a large sort of hulking mass of matted fur and patched skin, like a skeletal body that's bulging with muscles and slightly warped limbs.
I hate this.
This dog's head is elongated, their jaw filled with razor-sharp teeth that constantly drip with like this green liquid. They have glowing red eyes that peer out from the darkness, and their ears are too large, twitching constantly as they sort of track your movement. There's 2 of them, one following the other. Their claws are oversized and sharp, very much capable of tearing through flesh. Behind them are 2 more figures. Humanoid, once human, it would seem. Very much a grotesque sight, a patchwork of misshapen flesh stretched over uneven and deformed muscles. It has extra limbs, 1 too many arms, each ending in grotesquely large hands, and its legs are strangely bent like that of a spider. It's what's left of its face is a contorted mask of skin and agony, with 1 too many eyes blinking sporadically across its face. Its mouth is on the wrong part of its head and stretched open unnaturally wide and lined with razor-sharp teeth. It looks like it's been stitched together from parts that never belonged. A disturbing reminder of the horrors done in the name of experimentation. Can we roll initiative, please?
Yes. Gonna ask if they spotted us.
Yes.
Fucking.
The dogs
Sorry.
gave you away.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Let me know when you're ready, Lycan.
Okay, so he is seeing you. He is here. And we'll use the kobold one because they're cute. Blimp. And nope, he's too big. This guy. Bleh. Okay, hit me.
12.
9.
12 and 9.
17.
17. Bellini?
13.
Cool. Let's get some battle music. Where's my battle music? Ha. Yeah. So the dogs are up first, having sort of caught you guys by surprise. They loom almost immediately, centering on Bellini because he's the first, running up to try and get at you. Let me remind myself of what the squares are. So you are here. You are here. You're there. Bellini would be here. And dog 1. And dog 2. They are both going to try and bite you, and as they do, you can see that the sort of aggressive growling and their presence, both being within or close enough to each other, has given them some sort of boost, some sort of that their aggression is more heightened that they're together. The first one is a 16 to hit.
Nope.
And the second one is a 21.
That one hits.
You take 5 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make a Constitution save.
Cool. I'm good at this. That's a 17.
Yep, you're fine. And Geo, you're up first.
Okay. I am going to immediately drop the body and then take out my Kragmon Maul and run up to the closest one and just see if I can hit him.
Sure.
I'm guessing 11 doesn't hit.
11 does not hit, unfortunately.
Okay. Does that take up my 2 weapon fighting since I have to have both hands on the Maul to use it?
I would. Oh, we went through this, didn't we? At your current size, yes. If you were bigger, it would be just 1 hand.
Okay. That ends my turn.
Next up is one of the guards. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Shove him here. And he will occupy this space. As he sort of runs up, you see him roaring and spittle flying from its misshapen mouth. This was once a kobold and is now just an amalgamation of torn flesh and scales, and you see some parts are like has fur, some parts has skin, and as it does so, this exhalation of some sort of toxic cloud covers all of you. I need you all to make another Constitution save.
That's all of a 4.
Cool.
25.
25.
18.
Cool.
16.
Okay. Koo, you take 12 points of poison damage. And everyone else takes 6. Bellini, you're up.
Well, I'm gonna cast Burning Hands. And in my cone, if I angle it properly, I should be able to hit both wolves.
Yep.
Unfortunately,
absolutely.
this dude, I'd have to disengage, but I don't want to do that, so I'm just gonna yeah, I don't think there's a way for me to hit all 3 of them, so yeah.
Not currently, no.
Cool. That is, they need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, what's the DC?
That'll be a 14, or no, 13. I'm sorry, it's 8 plus spell attack. So yeah, 13.
One of them fails.
Cool. On a save, I think they take half. Yeah, they take half. And if they're flammable, any flammable objects aren't being worn or carried. So the hull
They're
is on
not.
fire.
They're not objects, so no. How much damage was it? Sorry.
That is 7. That's 12 for the one that failed and 6 for the one that saved.
Awesome. Anything else?
And as a bonus action, I'm gonna. Nope, that's no, that's a cantrip. Can I cast Shillelagh on my stick? It's a cantrip. Or no, because I cast Burning Hands.
It's Burning Hands. Yeah, no, you can. Yeah.
Cool. And then I cast Shillelagh on my stick.
Yeah, it's a spell
So
and a
it's a cantrip.
cantrip.
Cool.
And, or 2 cantrips if you really wanted to, but
Yeah. Nope.
Ku, you're up.
All right. I am going to pop back a little bit. A little bit more. And just start throwing psychic daggers at the undead kobold thing.
Cool. Let's call him a.
First one's a 21 to hit.
That hits.
All right. Second one would only be a 12 to hit.
The first one hits.
All right. 13 psychic damage.
Mental. Love it.
And that is my turn.
Next up is this one. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's gonna throw a spear at Bellini, which is a 22.
That hits.
You take 6 points of piercing damage as that javelin just rockets into the sort of soft flesh right above the start of your front part of your shell. Larea, you're up.
Right. I would like to. Am I in melee range of any of them? I can't really see it.
Sorry, you are.
You are currently here.
All right.
So
all right.
yes, you're in melee range with this one.
All right. Then I won't move. I would like to cast Hex on all 4 of them.
Ooh.
Meaning curse on a creature that you can see within range until the spell ends. You deal an extra d6 necrotic damage to the target.
Love it.
Also choose an ability when you cast a spell where they have disadvantage on. I would like to give them disadvantage on dexterity checks.
Sensible.
As a bonus action, consequently, I would like to cast my cantrip Magic Stone. I will reach in one of my pouches and grab a handful of pebbles, enchant them with that cantrip, and I'll hurl it at them. And that would be to hit an 18. Do I need to hit? Sorry, at them, at someone, the nearest one.
So if it's a ranged attack, it will be either of the walls. Otherwise, you have to roll with disadvantage.
Then I will. I think the purple wolf, if I'm seeing it correctly on my screen.
Yep, absolutely.
That would be 18 to hit.
18 hits.
All right. The damage will be. Let's see. That is 4 bludgeoning damage and 4 necrotic damage.
Lakin, is there a way to boost the player level of light? Because it is it's not as dark for you on stream as it is for us as players.
If you press spacebar, you might be able to change the atmospheric settings. It's on the left-hand side. I don't know if you can because I've never seen it as a player.
I can't as a player. Like I can jump to
There you go.
different boards. But...
That might help. I don't know.
That's a little bit better. That's better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's much better.
That's much better.
That's the same now as stream, I can see.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my turn.
Cool.
But thank you. Sorry.
Okay, so it is Red Dog's turn. Red Dog. This is funny. He's going to again try and bite Bellini. That's a 9. Oh, he has advantage. That's a 17. That misses.
That fails. That misses.
And the other one's gonna do the same. That is a 23. I rolled 2 19s. That's a 23.
Yeah, that hits.
So I need a Constitution save, please. And you take 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay, that's a 15 on my Constitution saving throw.
Yep, you're fine.
Cool. And 6 points of piercing damage.
It's 6 points as he sort of clamps down on part of your shoulder, probably aiming for where that javelin, a spear had hit you. Geo, you're up.
I am just going to try and attack the red dog again. The one right in front of me. Does a 21 hit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Look at that.
He
hippo
takes
go.
10 damage.
10. Love it.
So I just take my maul and basically hit him, bonk him right on the head.
Yeah. A boob, get away from me. Anything else?
Exactly. I am going to invoke Giant's Might.
Ooh. You will have to take a step backwards, but you can
That's
invoke
okay.
it.
Okay.
I'll move you over here. Blah.
And since I am bigger, I can now use the maul in one hand, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then I take out a hand axe in my second. And that ends my
Okay.
turn.
So you are here. I love that it vibrates the screen. So good. Bellini, you're up.
Cool. Bonus action. I cast Healing Spirit. Because I'm on a single hit point.
That makes sense.
And then I'm going to hide in my shell. And get a +5 bonus to AC.
Cool. What does your healing spirit look like?
It's a little fairy. And then I heal. Cool. 5 points of damage.
Cool. You have a fairy.
Cool. It heals me, and that is all I do. I am now hiding in my shell. And that is my turn.
Q, you're up.
Alright. I'm gonna chuck 2 more psychic daggers at the kobold around Geo.
Mm-hmm.
First one's only a 14 to hit.
Does not hit.
Alright. And then offhand one is only a 10. So that
Nope.
is all from me.
Cool. This one's going to step forwards towards Geo, seeing that he's sort of elongated his mass. Seems to have drawn his attention. And try and hit you with his spear. That is a 18.
That hits.
So you take 8 points of piercing damage. And I need you... No, you are now poisoned. It's not even a save. Wow. Larea, you are up.
All right. I would like to cast Eldritch Blast.
Sure.
I have 2 beams. I will direct both of them to the purple dog.
Purple pupper.
Purple pup. That is 16
Well, roll
to
for
hit.
the first one.
Yeah.
16 hits.
All right. Shall I do the damage first for this one?
Yes.
Right. That is 5 force damage and 3 necrotic damage.
What does it look like as she calls forth this eldritch beam of energy? This dog is dead.
She sort of seems to channel it from her midriff, from her stomach, and she, with both hands, just sort of pushes it out, and you see the air sort of distort as it looks like almost sonar wave going through it, and at the end, on impact, it has a slight red spark, just sort of on impact, it just fizzles out, and makes a very thunderous sound as it impacts the dog.
Cool. And then aim your other one wherever you want it.
I will point it at the red dog.
Cool. Roll for hit.
Ooh, that is a 9.
That misses, unfortunately. Anything else on your turn?
I will use my bonus action to do a magic stone at the red dog.
Fair enough.
So I once again reach in my pouch and I gather some pebbles. And sorry, roll to hit is 21.
That hits.
That is, I'm not sure if the necrotic damage also counts for this second attack because it is the second, technically. I can't really see it anywhere in the description. So I'm going to assume it's not. So it is just 7 bludgeoning damage.
It is also dead. So you watch as Lorea calls forth this energy, as she said, moving like a sonar straight into this first dog that erupts in blue energy before crumpling onto the floor. She then reaches in and, almost whispering as this pebble, as she goes past, rockets straight at the dog and hits him between the eyes, and then you see the stone sink even further and exit out the back and clatter against the back wall. Both of those dogs are dead.
Awesome.
Bleh.
That was my turn.
Pretty good turn. Maria, that dead. That's dead. Geo, you're up.
There's still more enemies, right?
Mm-hmm.
How
This
far
kobold
away?
Here, they're right in front of you.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna just attack the kobold. First, I'm going to take my maul and see if I can hit. Does a 14 hit?
No.
Okay. Next, I'm going to take my hand axe. Does a 20 hit unnatural?
Yes.
Awesome. With Giant's Might, I am also going to add an extra 1d6 damage to this attack. So that is 11 total.
Wonderful. Anything else?
Nope, that ends my turn.
Cool. This one is going to turn, seeing Lorea almost decimate this, their 2 familiars, I guess, their pets. It's going to try and attack you with its spear, which is 13 to hit. Does a 13 hit?
Me?
No, Larea.
I'm so sorry. No, it doesn't.
Oh, cool. Bellini, you're up.
I'm hiding in my shell. I heal another 5 points of damage.
Very nice.
I'm back at double-digit hit points. And as a bonus action, I'm just gonna stay in my shell and hide like a little baby. 'Cause I believe the only action I can do is emerge, and I do not want to do that. So nope, I'm just gonna hide here. I'm just in my shell,
Who, you're
cuddling F.
All right.
So
can I? Oh, can I get in melee range with the guy with the shield? Kind of hard to tell with Geo there.
You're here. No, not currently.
All right, that's fine. I was gonna bite him, but I guess I'll just throw knives instead.
Cool.
21 to hit,
21 hits.
and then a nat 20 on the offhand.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. So roll the first one.
Yep. 8 psychic damage on the first one.
Mm-hmm. And then it's the max roll, your roll, plus your mod.
Uh, 10 psychic damage on the offhand.
Only 10?
It's only a d4 of damage, and I don't get I got sneak
damn.
attack on the first one instead of the second one.
That's fair.
Because
Fair
otherwise
enough.
it'd be a little metagamey.
Anything else?
Nope, that'll do it.
Cool. This one's going to swing at Geo again. That is a 21.
That hits.
And you take 6 points of piercing damage and a constitution save for me.
On save is 25.
Yep, you're fine. Larea, you're up.
All right. I would like to cast Chill Touch on the one to my right, the one without a shield.
Did what?
And that will be a 22 to hit. And I will roll a d10 for damage. That is... Let me just double check. I'm assuming... Oh, no. Say freaking damage. Alright, it's just 4 damage, and my necrotic damage will be 2. So 6 damage in total.
Very cool. Anything else?
That's it.
Geo, you're up.
Okay, I am going to attack the one right in front of me again.
Mm-hmm.
First with my maul. And that is a 20 to hit, unnatural.
Yep, that hits.
Okay. That does a total of 9 damage.
He is
And then
dead.
Sweet. And then there's one other, right?
Yep.
Am I close enough that I can hit him with my hand
Not
axe?
with a melee, no.
Can I throw my hand axe?
Yeah, I believe so.
So I'm going to throw my hand axe, and that is a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. With Giant Smite, I'm going to do the 2d6 damage again. And that is 11 damage.
Amazing. Anything else?
Nope, that is everything.
For me, I'm not sure if they have any sort of resistance, but it is necrotic damage on the Chill Touch as well instead of regular damage. So if they have, it would be 4 necrotic damage as well instead of regular. Did he freeze from just me? Oh,
No,
you're there.
I was reading. What were you asking? Sorry.
That I saw that chill touch wasn't regular damage, but necrotic damage, and I'm not sure if they have resistance, but if they do, that might impact it. So, just so you know.
Not as far as you can tell. They do seem to be flinching with all of these hits.
All right.
Oh, it's my guard's turn. They're gonna go for Larea.
All right.
They're not going to try to hit the presumably dead turtle in a shell.
No. That is a dirty 20.
That hits, yeah.
That is 9 points of piercing damage, and I need a Constitution save.
That's a nat 1.
You take 6 points of poison damage, and you are now poisoned for 1 minute.
Okay.
Bellini, you're up.
Cool. I'm gonna emerge from my shell. Which hold on. See if it does anything. Nope. Okay. I just and then I take my shiny glowy. Yeah, I just go, "Whoa," and I'm like, "Whoa," and I take my stick and I whack this kobold. That's a d20 plus 5. That's a 24. It's a 19 on the die. Guessing that hits.
It does, yes.
And that is 7 points of damage.
It is also
Slowly-
dead.
Cool. I go. Yeah, turtle power.
Turtle
and then
power.
I get healed for 4 points of healing. Cool.
I love that.
I almost died. Spooky.
Yes, you guys are now out of initiative.
Cool.
All right.
Who is hurt besides
I am.
myself? Cool. My little fairy is gonna fly over to Ku and Geo and heal them both for Geo you heal for 5, Ku you heal for 4, and fly over to Labrina, you heal for 3.
All right.
And then it poofs out of existence. As it's spent all of its healing charges.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just gonna drink a potion because I don't think we can short rest.
I do believe.
Can we duck into one of these cells and take a 20-minute breather?
That is completely up to you if you want to risk it. But you do have. Let me count this. 1, 2, 6, 13. Your spirit is currently hovering above you, so technically it would still heal you for the rest of that minute.
I thought it. Hold on. Healing spirit is after healing that number of times, the spirit disappears.
How many times does it heal you?
I've used all its charges.
Oh.
Yeah, because it healed me twice. Yeah, it's all its charges. So.
I would additionally like to cast Healing Hands on myself for 2d4.
Mm-hmm.
Returning 6 HP to me. And I would like on top of that to cast False Life for 2d4 plus 5. So those are temporary hit points. And those are 5 plus 5, 10 temporary hit points I regain.
Very nice.
Or regain again.
I'm gonna drink a potion of healing.
I am also going to drink a potion of healing.
I will as well.
Lorraine just kind of, pats herself down and she's like, okay, well, that's a lovely welcome.
8 plus 2, so that's 10. Cool. And we get full amount of healing, right? From potions, because we're out of combat.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Is anybody else like really hurt? I can burn a cure wound.
I'm back to
Yeah.
full.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'll be
I'm also
fine
back
for
to
another
full.
round.
Cool. Do these kobolds have any keys on them?
You can search them if you want to.
Yeah, I search them.
That would be an investigation.
That's a 6 on the die, plus 0. 6.
No, what remains of their armor is long degraded and tattered. So if they did carry anything, they probably might have dropped it by now.
Okay. Well, I peek my head around the hallway and I go, they came from this way, so we can see if there's more stuff that way.
Might
Sounds
as
good.
well.
Yeah.
I told y'all there were spooky ghosty things here. And everyone left
It's
it.
not really a ghost, but sure.
This thing tried to eat me.
All you find is a bunch of locked rooms that look to be long abandoned.
And I have a feeling if we enter any of the rooms, we're going to get attacked again.
No.
Do I see anything that stands out to me? Is it like a dead end? Does it
Yeah.
look like a dead end?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I see any markings? Does it appear like the footsteps have continued the trail?
Make a perception check.
4.
Not as far as you're aware. You're guessing that the drag marks were this body that you guys found, and then probably made by the dogs, and then the guards maybe were also down that hallway.
Basically blind at this point.
It's dark, shit happens.
Yeah.
Tensions are high.
Can I also look?
What are you looking for?
I ask Lorena, what were you looking for?
I was checking to see if this trail we saw earlier, if that was like generally theirs, or if it was somewhere else. Perhaps they were coming from somewhere, because this is a dead end. I don't know what they were doing here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I can also look, see if I can help you find anything. And I like poke at the floor for loose tiles or like signs of more dragging. That is a 16 plus, I believe 5. But hold on. Perception plus 3, 19.
No, she seems to be pretty on it.
I'm sorry, it's 21.
Still,
I looked at persuasion.
it's a dead end of a corridor. There's nothing else for you to see.
Well, I guess we gotta go elsewhere, gang.
This is the classic D&D players overthink. This is a corridor. There's nothing in the corridor.
Okay.
Well, Well, at least we got rid of the growling. That would have been very distracting, don't you agree?
Yes. F is somewhere under one of these bodies, and I cannot get him.
I'm not telling you where he is. He's hidden and secret.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's a dead body.
This is a hippo man.
He would break that table if he stood on it.
I definitely jump on the table just to break it.
Rhea sort of goes like, stop, because she knows that will probably make noise. But she's
More
probably
than
too
likely.
late to stop it.
Yeah, more than likely too late.
Are you
Can I do
still
it?
big?
No, since we're out of combat, I should be small again.
Well, we should probably explore the other hallway and make sure we're not going to be followed up the stairs.
Sounds good.
Works for me. I will follow you guys so I don't break any more tables.
Ku, darling, would you be so kind as to unlock this door for us?
Thank God for advantage at the 19.
Yeah, this is the hands of a man who's done this one too many times. He knows exactly what he's doing. Let me gather my peoples. Bloop.
Are there any drag marks in this hallway?
Not as far as you can tell.
Are there any sounds? Is that a ball in this hallway? No, no, that's bread.
Oh yeah.
It looked like a ball. I got very distracted.
Yeah,
I don't know what this is about me as a person, or the fact that I have multiple fidget toys within reach.
Is this a ball?
Yeah.
Yeah, as you're sort of walking around, the only room that sort of sticks out to you is one of the doors. This door on your left is made of wood, and you can't see past it.
Wooden
Not
door.
that we can bust
Wait,
that
Wooden
door
door.
down.
This one. Let
All the
me-
way at the end.
Door.
You keep saying that, and nothing is pinging on my screen.
Can you
Hold
move
on,
our
I just
tokens
find a
in front of
door.
it?
Bear with. Door. Where is door? God fucking damn it. Oh, there it is. Wooden door. This one. Blank. Right? Yeah.
Well,
Got it.
if it's a wooden door,
Can I Kool-Aid man the door?
That was
Yeah,
going-
make a
Suggestion.
strength check.
I rub his shoulders. It's like, you got this. You got this. You got this.
17.
It splinters once again in a very similar fashion that you guys have seen before. It breaks open, breaks part of the wall off. He has made an opening, that's for sure.
Definitely wasn't quiet.
It definitely wasn't quiet as you sort of hear the wood splintering, the stone clattering to the ground. The air that you're met with is a stench of decay and blood. There's a faint scent of chemicals. And the room is very dimly lit. None of the lights or lanterns have been lit in a long time. The floor is cold and damp, and there's puddles of stagnant water scattered across it. Part of the walls have some what seems to be inlaid heavy iron cages, each filled with remnants of corpses or material. Some of them have been torn open as the metal's twisted, as if something powerful has broken free from it. Along one wall there's shelves with old records, some covered in a layer of dust and grime. One shelf has been disturbed quite recently, the dust having left different fingerprint marks. The files are yellowed and the parchment's barely legible. On the table containing a variety of array of limbs and bodies, there's some notes, primarily being one folder is labeled subject 013, and that's all that's in there at the moment. Just a lot of corpses, and what seems to be the remnants of cages where something's broken free.
Looking at the skeletons on this table, are these full skeletons or broken down skeletons?
Are you going to have a look?
From where I'm standing, I want to be like, are those full skeletons or are they broken into limbs?
It's an array of limbs and bodies, and you're not quite sure from where you're standing.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Shillelagh on my stick and I'm gonna whack one of these skeletons. Hopefully it crumbles into dust.
Cool. Roll to hit.
That's a 19 on the die plus 5, 24.
Can I have your damage as well?
It's 8 plus 3. That's 6, 9 damage.
Perfect. As you do that, the bodies begin to move, and some of the limbs form, and you can see the fingers touching the stone and reaching out for you. This mass of bodies begins to move, and you see some of the eyes on the corpses look directly in your direction as they sort of feel this pain all at once. You hear this echoing screech reverberate through all of their vocal cords. There's gaping maws where their ears should be. There's smooth, featureless faces, save for rows of jagged teeth. It's inconsistent, like a poorly made puppet whose strings were pulled too tight. You can see the remnants of old asylum uniforms, torn and covered in scars, and some very recent additions, a very dark leather and some plate armor. Corpses that are still bleeding. Can everybody roll initiative, please?
I fucked up. I fucked up. I fucked
You
up.
did. It was a pretty good
rolled a
guess, though.
9
That was well
again.
done.
I got a 19.
Cool. Thank you.
I got a whole 9.
Okay. Bellini, you're up first.
Cool. I am going to take out my holy water and I'm going to dump it. I'm gonna like whack this with my stick in one hand and throw the holy water with the other as my 2-weapon fighting.
That.
So it's... Oh, I thought it was just the corpses on the tables.
Nope.
Oh.
I couldn't
fuck.
make that many corpses that quickly, so.
Cool. Pause. I'm gonna cast instead. I'm going to cast protection from good and evil on myself. Until the spell ends, I'm protected against creatures that are aberrations, celestials, elementals, Phase fiends are undead. Creatures have disadvantage on attack rolls against me. I can't be possessed or gain the charmed or frightened condition from them. And I have advantage on any saving throws from them.
Okay.
And then
List off the creatures again for me.
aberrations, celestials, elementals, phase, fiends, undead. And if
Okay.
this is not one of those, I have no idea what it would fall under.
It's not.
Oh, fuck.
It doesn't have one. It's considered an ooze because it's an amalgamation of different things.
Oh, I thought it would be an undead.
Nope.
So that's an action, and then as a bonus action, can I throw holy water at it?
I mean, sure, yeah.
Because I don't know that it's not. It needs to make a dexterity saving throw. If it's a fiend or undead, which it's not, it take 2d8 damage.
That is a 5.
Yeah, no, that fails. But because it's not a fiend or undead, it does not take any damage.
Oh,
I rolled
well,
2d8, 7,
fair enough.
and a 6. 13. If it's does it take any radiant damage?
No.
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 Cool. The holy water didn't work. But
You can visibly tell that as this vial shatters over its body and you see the water flood over it, you're expecting a reaction of it being undead for the radiant damage to either glow or show some sign of burning. It just drips down the side of this formed amalgamation of corpses.
Cool. And that's my turn, because if I run away, it's gonna hit me.
Cool. Screeching around the corner, come two, not guards, but they're wearing like ragged, remains of uniform, and you could guess by one of them's got numbers on it that this might be an inmate, of this asylum, long since passed. They come careening around the corner and immediately lock eyes with Geo and Ku, and are going to make their way over to you if they can, which they can't. 5, 10, 15, 20, so it's there. 5, 10, 15, 20, so it's there. And they'll probably dash to there. Ku, you're up.
Bonus action disengage. I'm not.
Cool.
No.
No, I no, I don't like that.
I'm not frontline, man. I'm gonna run around
Not
this
about that
corner
life.
here, and throw a psychic knife at the one in front of Geo.
Cool. Yeah, roll to hit.
God damn it, that's only an 11.
Uh, 11 hits. Sorry, I was reading something.
Oh. Okay. In that case, it's 19 psychic damage.
Very cool.
And
Anything
that's
else?
my turn. Nope, I bonus actioned, I actioned. I'm far enough away.
Okay. It's this giant amalgamation of what was once people is going to swipe at Bellini for an 8
That misses.
And then you see it begins to move, and what remains appears to be legs and other body parts that form these long, almost tree-like limbs as it moves towards you and begins to move past you. And as it does, you can feel yourself being pulled into this amalgamation. So I need a DC 12 dex save.
14 on the die plus 1, 15.
Cool. So you're pushed back a little bit as it tries to engulf you and just moving, and you can feel your feet dragging across the stone floor as you're fighting against being pulled in. Larea, it is your turn.
Alright, I would like to cast Suggestion on that big old thing.
Sure.
It needs to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Okay. It's not very wise.
I was hoping as much.
I don't think it... Wait, it has brains, but non-functional. Do. Okay. Okay. And what do you say to it? To try and
I
get it to do
say,
something.
stop. Do not hurt us. Remain still. So, suggestion is you suggest a course of activity described in no more than 25 words. One creature you can see within range that can hear and understand you. The suggestion must sound achievable and not involve anything that would obviously deal damage to the target or its allies. It's a concentration and it will last up to 8 hours.
Cool. As you're sort of saying these words, you see one of the many heads sort of like looks at you with a vacant expression. Nothing seems to have gone in any of its ears or gone out. It does seem to be immune to being charmed.
All right. As I see that I'm not getting through to this amalgamation, I kind of switch tactics. I'm like, all right, guess it's back to the stones then, and I grab stones and I cast magic stone. That'll be a 10 to hit.
Nope.
I'm so flabbergasted by this amalgamation, I just chuck it wildly around it. It's not going to do anything.
Geo, you're up.
With the one that is right next to me, I just want to hit him with my maul.
Cool, go for it, man.
So I just take out my maul and I swing at him. Does a 24 hit?
It does.
Okay. And then I am also going to invoke my magic effect. So just it's Shattering Strike, and then it'll do an extra d6 damage.
Okay.
So that is 18 damage total.
Okay, what does Geo do to decimate this shambling corpse of previous insane person?
He just tried to scare me, so all I did was turn to the side, take it, and go boop! And I hit him a little bit too hard that he accidentally goes through the stone floor.
Okay. Yeah, you watch as this corpse, he hits him on the head, and the corpse flips almost instantly to go face planting into the stone. The maul keeps going, the stone cracks as this body sort of falls into the hole it created. He is dead. Let's just mark that off. Anything else on your turn?
Nope, that is everything.
Bellini, you are up.
Cool. I'm gonna summon a friend.
Oh, let me find him. Hang on. Found him.
And yeah. Yeah. Hi, Eth. And Eth is gonna pop out. This big dude needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okie. He's obviously so dexterous.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh shit, that's a 19.
No, it's not. I burn a luck point, and it
Okay.
has to re-roll that.
That's a 17.
Nat 20. Aw.
God damn it. That's fine. Hold on. Features
Oh,
and
minus 3.
traits.
14.
Hold on. Nope, it still passes. That's fine. And then Eth is gonna high five me, and we are going to blink away to safety.
Cool.
And Eth. It needs to make another dexterity saving throw.
Nat 20.
No, roll it again.
God. I thought you just used that.
I have 3 luck points.
Minus 3 is 13.
That ties. God damn it. Okay. Nope. It's good. Okay. That's my turn.
Cool. This inmate is gonna... Oh, that one's dead. Hang on. This inmate is gonna full pelt run at Geo and slam into you. As he does... No. You take 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Dang.
And I need a Constitution save as this... it sort of slams into you and you can feel the bile roiling from its mouth begins to hit your skin. Yeah.
25 for the save.
Yeah, you're fine. It is Koo's turn.
All right. I'm gonna throw 2 psychic daggers at the ghoul in front of Geo.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. It's 14 on the first one.
That hits.
Only a 7 on the offhand.
That misses.
But 15 psychic damage on the first hit.
Amazing. Love to see it. Bloody
And
sneak
that is my
attack.
turn.
Geo, yes, Geo, can you make a, nope. A dexterity saving throw, please.
17.
Yeah, you're fine, but it does hit you for... 8 points of acid damage.
Dang. I'm getting poisoned, acid on me, everything.
Yeah, your coat's looking pretty rough. Larea, you're up. Oh, look at the
Eldritch
kitty!
I would like to Eldritch Blast the big dude. So
Sure.
two rays. 1. Oh my god, that's a 7 to hit. I'll just roll the next one. That's a nat 1. I'm having an off day today. I do jack shit. No, I
Luckily,
will
I'm
still
not
do...
feeling mean. But, yes.
I will do my magic stones as a bonus action.
Sure,
Surprise.
absolutely.
Oh, and that one's a 21 to hit. No,
Awesome.
sure, fine. That is a d6. That is 8 total bludgeoning damage.
Massive. Love it.
Got good arm. What's the softball?
Geo, you're up.
The guy that just slammed into me, I'm a little ticked off, so I am going to try and maul him with my maul. And that is a nat 20.
Ooh, he's dead.
Juicy.
I will just say you kind of swing a batter up and just hit him in the side of the body, and he goes slamming into the side of the stonework and just splats. He doesn't even crumple to the floor. He's still stuck to the stonework.
Do we have the cleave rule in effect?
The what?
Like-
What?
Cleave rule, does his damage, like if he overkills something, does it go into the next thing?
I don't believe so.
Okay. I was just asking.
There are some abilities that let you do that, but that would be done by a class-by-class basis. Bellini, you're up.
Cool. F is gonna throw fire at the ooze.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna roll to hit. Does a 15 hit?
Yep.
Let's go. It's gonna take 5 points of fire damage.
Awesome.
And then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna cast gonna take a step over here so I don't hit Geo. And I'm gonna cast Burning Hand.
Okay.
It needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Come on, you've been good at this. Yes, that is a 4.
Nope, does not save. Takes 16 points of fire damage. As I go,
16. Mad.
I rolled 2 6s.
Ku, you are up.
Alright. I will throw more psychic knives at the little shit in front of Geo.
Wait, didn't I kill the one that's in front of me?
Yeah.
Oh
this
yeah,
is dead.
sorry.
Alright, well. I'll move a little bit and throw it instead at the giant thing. That's a 12 to hit.
That misses.
Alright. Yeah, offhand also misses with a 7. And then... Yep, come on. I'll duck back around the corner. I don't know where that thing's going.
I don't know what I did.
I don't know either. I'm about to find out. Who's the last person there? Geo. Oh, wait, no. Geo and Bellini, can you both make a dexterity saving throw, please?
The 18.
19.
Nice. You're both pushed back out as you're struggling and pushing against this mass as it moves forwards. It's then going to turn the corner, and I need Lorea to make one as well.
Does Geo get an attack of opportunity as it goes past him?
I rolled a 7, by the way.
No. Oh shit. Did you say a 7?
Yep.
You are currently engulfed into this creature, amongst limbs and screaming maws, and you can hear the pain of the creatures that were once residents of it. To answer your question, I will need to consult what it says. Yes, he does get an attack of opportunity.
Sweet.
He's just an ooze. Hit him with your maul.
Yeah, I'm gonna maul him again.
Hit him with your
I definitely
maul.
missed.
Oh,
It's 9 to
Just-
hit.
yeah, no, that misses.
He's just a guy. Hit him with your car.
Hit him with your car. He's also going to
What?
swipe at Ku, which is a 17.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that hits.
You take 8 points of acid damage. Lorraine,
Alright.
it's your turn.
Can I make a check to try and get out?
Yes, sorry, it's a strength check.
Oh, lovely. She's so
To
strong.
try and claw your way out of this mass of bodies.
A 12?
Ooh, meets it, beats it.
Oh.
You do take... 4 acid damage on your way out.
Right. Okay. I will still do Magic Stone as a bonus action, I suppose, even though it will be in melee range and with disadvantage.
Shouldn't that cancel out because she would have flanking with Bellini?
Yeah, it will do, yeah.
All right.
Good catch.
That is 16 to hit.
Oh yeah, let me pull you out of the mass. 16 does hit, yes.
All right. I inflict 7 bludgeoning damage on it.
7, love it. Awesome. Anything else on your turn?
Nope, that's it.
Geo, you're up.
I am going to just go up and attack him.
Mhm.
Just with my mulligan. 13.
Misses.
Okay, I'm a little bit.
Oh no,
pissed
sorry, I
off.
lied. Meets it.
Oh, sweet.
Does he have advantage? Because Ku and
Depending on where he stands, yes. But he managed to get it anyway. So unless he wants to roll to crit.
I mean, yeah, I'll roll the crit. Let's see. Nope. I got a 21, but it wasn't a nat.
Better than a
So
slap in the
that-
face.
Is 12 damage.
Awesome sauce.
And I am going to action surge.
Ooh, love it.
So I
Hit
just
him
take up
again.
my maul and go to whack him again.
Get him.
19 to hit.
19 hits.
Okay. And that is 13 more damage.
Awesome. You cleave through like its shoulder and a good portion of its mass as you see some of the corpses falling away, no longer seeming sentient. You do see the tinge of green and red magic as they fall away, trying to hold on to them. From that, a lot of you who are more magically inclined can tell that this thing was made through a more arcane means than raising the dead. It is a creation rather than raising a soul that had been there before. I believe it's Bellini.
If this thing is still kind of moving and grooving, F, I don't know what I clicked on, but it's trying to attack that treant zombie, which is not, I don't know how to get rid of this. Thank you. F was over here when it went by. So F is gonna try to hit it with fire.
Cool.
Does a 9 hit?
No.
Cool. F tried, and that's what matters.
Yes, it does. Although it does sail
Um,
past the body, and Ku has like a moment where he has to quickly move his head as this fireball just goes straight past him.
And then Bellini's gonna try to hit him with a magic stick.
Hit him with the stick. Hit
Do
him
I have
with the stick.
advantage because
Yes.
of where?
Yes.
Okay. No. Dirty 20.
Yeah, that hits.
That is 9 points of magic damage.
Wonderful. It looks visibly no longer a formed mass. Since it doesn't
And that's my
bleed.
turn.
Q, you're up.
All right. I am gonna swing on it with my, instead of throwing my psychic daggers, turn them into psychic claws and try to just go nuts.
Mhm.
I should have advantage, right?
You do.
For flanking.
Yes.
Okay. Jesus Christ, that's a 12 on the first one,
No.
and a 23 on the second one.
Yes. What does it look like as you form these psychic claws, for those who perhaps haven't seen it before, and just tear this thing to pieces?
Yeah, so I think Ku's daggers have always been like hard light constructs, and so rather than throwing something like that, it instead encompasses his hands, and they past his fingers elongate into sharpened claws, making them significantly bigger than what you would expect for claws. And that is 14 psychic damage.
Yeah, it's dead. That's why I was asking. I knew already. It was on 4 health, and I was like, well, he's hit, so I think it's
minimum
modified.
I do.
Yeah, so it's very much dead. You guys are out of initiative as this sort of mass of bodies begins to fall and crumble and is no longer animated.
Right. I sort of huff and puff out, like I just came out of that thing, so I'm quite exhausted.
Yeah, your
Well,
skin's
that-
still sizzling a little bit.
I hear the screams of the damned still echoing in my mind. I'm like, well, that's
Absolutely.
not something I want to do again.
You do hear the softest. You hear it, but you more feel it just a little bit in the tiniest tinge of your mind. Just a gentle chuckle, just a little smug. There's a little relief in there. You do sense that they are relieved that you survived, but there is a hint of humor and a soft little smug chuckle in the back of your mind.
Okay.
A small sack doll dressed exactly like Bellini. It looks like that. Oh, hold on. There we go.
Yeah.
It looks like that, but wreathed in flames, comes up and just kind of looks at you with its button eyes and waves, because F has not met you yet. And like looks at where you got acid burned a little bit and tries to like pat it so it's not bleeding anymore. And he goes,
With his fiery hands.
I was gonna say, yeah.
a little bit, only to do like a medicine check, but I'm like, no, F, can't let her on fire. Nope.
Larea, you take 1 point of fire damage as you see this tiny little handprint singe part of your arm.
He goes, sorry. He means well. He just saw you got hurt by the big monster that also tried to hurt me. This is F. He's a haunted sack doll.
I love it.
I go, hold on, wait. And I focus for a second and the flames go out and he's just a little sack doll form.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, you couldn't have chosen a more willing participant to this conversation. There's a creepy sack doll in front of you, Larea. Just an embodiment of your childhood and your favorite things.
Without asking for permission, I pick it up and like a baby, I'm like, look at you, you're magnificent.
Its little feet kick and it goes, and he's just like very excited. He's like, look, like a small child who's seen it. It's like something it loves. And I go, yes, F, this is Lorena. She's new. She's friends with Q, and I guess us now. We're not gonna light her on fire. And you just see F nod his head.
She puts him back down again gently.
And
She gives him a little pat on the head.
he runs over to me and just climbs back on my shell, and he just waves from over my shoulder. So yeah, that's my fire spirit. He's
It's
cool.
adorable.
And he has a matching outfit. And I am making other outfits so he can match. And I say, hold on. And I start singing Vogue by Madonna, and my outfits all change. Because Vogue is the command word to change outfits. And Bellini's and S outfits also change with me, so we always match. But we're back in our base clothes.
All right.
But yeah, you're left with the ruined mass of corpses littered before you. The leftover of what was left in the rest of the room. And very eerie silence.
I would like to scavenge among the leftover corpses and see if I can find anything of value or interest.
The corpses? Ooh, yes, make an investigation check.
I will. That is a 16 on the dice
Ooh.
plus 0. 16.
You notice that there are some corpses that look quite fresh. Freshly added to this amalgamation. Amongst them, you find their armor, of course, a couple of daggers, a rapier, and a gold coin featuring an engraving of a full moon over a dagger. On the back is an inscription in... I'm trying to remember what language it's in now. Oh, yeah. In the language of the Hells, which reads, Favor of the Crescent Lord, etched around the edge. Being amongst this strewn corpses and dead people, it is almost too perfect. It's shiny, it doesn't look dull, it's unnaturally smooth, and it feels very heavy when you're holding it.
I would like to use my sickle to cut it loose. It was on a... Was it on a string, or am I imagining that?
No, it was just a
It was
coin,
just-
and yeah, it was just
Then I
amongst
won't cut it loose.
all of their stuff. You also find 25 gold amongst the various different corpses, and what seems to be some sort of contract that's written on a blackened, scorched piece of parchment. Can you make a insight or medicine, depending on which one's better for you?
Both the same. So I'll go with a medicine for flavor. That is a 15.
This piece of parchment has been written and signed in blood, and the words written in it are strange and flowing, and they seem to flicker. Anytime light hits it, it seems to disappear. And at the bottom of the contract is a faint, unmistakable sigil of House Obscura, which is the reigning house of Obscurum, a very different kingdom in Elendrian. As you read it, it seems to be a binding agreement made between House Obscura and some sort of patron. Their symbol is a book with a brain and a crown above it. It speaks of dark pacts and very powerful bargains, promising power in exchange for destabilizing Cyrusia and bringing what's known as the Veil closer to collapse.
I hold the contract up, sort of like dangling it, and I say specifically to Ku, I think your friends might find this interesting. Wouldn't you agree? And I hand it over to him.
Yeah, I'll take a look over it. Probably file it away.
Mm-hmm.
For the rest, I absolutely will pocket the coin. And just for my notes, it was a coin with a moon and a dagger, was it, on it?
Yeah, a moon with a dagger on over the top.
All right. I will pocket that. I don't care about the loose daggers or the armor. I'll kind of toss it aside if anyone wants to pick at them, but I do not care about those. Yeah. After I've sort of scavenged through the corpse pile, I will stand up again and do a little press to ditch to clear myself off and stand back a little.
Sure. What's everyone else doing? Are we looking for anything else, or?
No, she looted the room.
She looted the bodies.
I loot the room.
In what way?
I start going around and I start looking under things for coins and gems and other scraps.
Sure. Make an investigation check.
That's a 2 plus 0.
You find a bunch of very boring documents. You assume that it has something to do with the asylum and the ledger of logs, but that was decades ago, so it's pointless now. You find 7 copper. They don't keep
Let's
coins
go.
in an asylum.
I very like proudly guys. Guys, I found 7 copper. There is 4 of us, so somebody's only getting 1.
Take my copper. I still owe you gold.
Okay. So I get 3 copper, and the rest of you get 2. Or Q and Lorena, you each get 2.
All right.
Let's go. Big wins. Hopefully we find more.
Anyone else?
I'm just shaking off all of the ooze and stuff that I got on me from killing 2 things.
Okay, that's where we're going to end the session for today. As per usual,
Right.
thank you guys for joining me on another glorious adventure, and thank you to our newest member of the party, rounding you guys off to a nice sum total of 4. I hope you guys have had fun, and I will see you guys soon. Are we next week? I don't know the calendar.
Yeah.
I haven't looked. We're on for next week.
Next week, yes. The week after, no.
Mhm.
And the week after, also no. So it's 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off.
Nice. We love to see it. But we'll see you guys very soon. Till then, say bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Eternity's a gift, they say, to never cross the veil. This life I try to savor, and I try to no avail. Curse that mortal brevity which has rent you from my arms. Curse this cold eternity without you to keep me warm. Your never-ending elegy is a ballad with no melody, as empty as I. Now you've passed me by. A blessing, no, a malady. Why do roses bloom in spring, only to wither and die? You were all that was good in me. Now back to darkness go I. Take with vanity, and I hear the ravens taunt. Your never-ending elegy is a ballad with no melody, as empty as I. Now you've passed me by. A blessing, no, a malady. My eternal malady. Eternity's a gift, they say, to never cross the veil. This life I try to savor, and I try to no avail. Curse that mortal brevity which has rent you from my arms. Curse this cold eternity without you to keep me warm. Your never-ending elegy is a ballad with no melody, as empty as I. Now you've passed me by. A blessing, no, a malady. Why do roses bloom